Mortgage One Studios, Russ Clark with you on a beautiful Monday morning. And I even have a guest that came in this morning. Mark's here. Mark, what's your last name, Mark?
Grochon.
Are you sure?
Well, I'm thinking, yeah, that's what they call Grochon.
I just want to make sure you're good with that.
No, because
Mark.
people always got it mixed up. They call me Grody. They don't know.
Grody.
Yeah.
Grody's good.
Yeah,
I kind of like that.
Sparky, really. Though.
Because you're coming in today, I've got to do an announcement this morning before I get started to make sure that we don't get sued or something.
I know that.
All contents presented on the Russ Clark Show, including statements made by guest commentators and callers, reflect the personal opinions of those individuals and is provided for informational entertainment purposes only. You've got me stuttering this morning, Mark. These views do not represent the official position of Mortgage One Studios, its owners, employees, affiliates, or partners. Mortgage One Studios does not endorse, verify, or guarantee the accuracy, completeness, or reliability of any statements made by third parties during programming. So now you're safe.
Now I'm safe.
You're safe. You're safe. Did you hear about Lindsey Graham?
I was off for the whole weekend, not looking at social media as I was taking my.
You did all of that.
I did the whole weekend silent time with my God and with my wife, and we talked a lot and hung out. And so I just heard about it late last night.
Okay, so you're aware.
I heard, yes, last night.
Lindsey Graham passed, which was a shock, I guess. He wasn't like Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell's been in the hospital for a month.
Well,
there were rumors that he passed or he was brain dead. I heard he was brain dead, that he passed, that they're covering it up because the state that he's in, Kentucky, if he withdraws from his seat for any reason, whether it's loss of life or he resigns or something, the governor does not appoint a senator in that state. There would be a special runoff. And that special runoff, he would have to, they'd have to schedule that before the 7th of next month or something, somewhere around the 7th of next month. I may be wrong on the exact date, but it's in the first week. And they think he's just holding out to thwart that or something, or somebody is. But he released a picture of him holding a newspaper with his wife in the room. Of course, that's just causing controversy too, because his wife's in China. But obviously she came home or she sent a picture of herself. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to clear up the controversy or not. Probably. I think the people are looking for some kind of conspiracy are going to find it, but I just think it's odd.
His wife's in China?
No, she's from China.
Oh, okay.
So she's back there, but to take off while he's in the hospital unconscious, at least he went to the hospital unconscious in an ambulance. But he hasn't released too much or anything really on how he's doing. And that caused a lot of speculation. A lot of people, maybe that's intentionally likes the press.
Maybe, or maybe his wife and him have a different marriage.
I don't know. They've been married for many, many years. It's not like a recent marriage or anything. And they've been married for years. And she's Chinese and has connections to, like, I guess, some industrialists and shipbuilding and stuff. But she says, I'm not hanging around with an old man in the hospital. I'm going to China.
Man, I hope my wife will hang around with me.
But she's not going to go to China?
No, she will probably go see the relatives in Denver.
I'll go to Denver.
Yeah, she'll be
maybe do that. But Lindsey Graham had some kind of heart issue. They thought it was a heart attack, but it was more like an aorta that came apart. Doesn't sound fun. And I'll get into that. But he's been in the U.S. Senate since 2003. He was elected in 2002. In the House before then, according to Henry McAllister, South Carolina governor, he's going to be greatly missed. Irreplaceable leader and a loyal friend. But he's been getting a lot of accolades from both sides of the aisle, which is kind of unusual in today's climate. Today's climate's kind of ferociously violent.
You mean in politics?
Politics.
Okay.
Yeah, politics. He was influential on appropriations, judiciary, environmental, public works. He was a hard worker. He was a good friend of John McCain. That's how I met Lindsey Graham. Actually, he came to Yuma quite a few times with John McCain. The two of them spent a lot of time together. And he was in the 3rd Congressional District in the U.S. House before then. He's a veteran of the Air Force, National Guard, Air Force Reserve. He was a colonel, retired in 2015 after 33 years. All that and a senator. He packed a lot in.
Well, yes, he's an overachiever. Is that?
I like it.
You like it? Yes.
I like that. It's great.
What happened?
Somebody's got to do it.
I know.
The governor will to fill that seat in the short term. He's going to have to replace him, appoint somebody, but then there'll be of course, an election after that. But a filing window. Let me see. Special primary election for Republicans. Wait a minute. It will fall to the South Carolina governor to fill that seat in the short term, and then there's going to be a special election. Will allow for a primary election for Republican candidates. Filing window July 21st to July 28th. So we got just not very long. And then there'll be a special primary election August 11th and a runoff election August 25th and then of course the general election in November to figure out who takes his place and all that kind of stuff. Well, it was a shocker. And now, as soon as he passed, Iran came out and took credit for an assassination.
Well, they like doing things like that.
I think so.
Yeah.
In fact, the recent rant right now is to kill Trump. They've been going through the streets marching with these huge banners that they're going to kill Trump. And on the poster that they had to kill Trump was other leaders they're after. Some are Arab leaders, of course, the Jewish leader, Netanyahu, Trump, and Lindsey Graham, and Pete Hegseth. And so as soon as he passed, they came out and took claim. They claimed it, and they showed some AI generated video that it was a setup that as soon as he got in the ambulance, there was a nurse, a spy in there that injected him with something that created the end of his death. Now, those kind of things caused the FBI and others to be concerned, and they were going to do an investigation to make sure, which is fair and all that. But I think they've already come up with the preliminary findings on what really happened. The Columbia office of the chief medical examiner identified the cause of death as aortic dissection due to arteriosclerotic cardiovascular disease, hardening of the arteries.
Okay, I got
kind of blew up on him. He was 71 years old.
That's my age. Yeah, I'm 71.
Well, can you make it through the show?
Russ, I don't.
How do you feel?
I feel great.
I feel.
Yes.
Yeah, good. Well, so did he. He was doing great. He was he just got off a tour and doing a lot of press interviews and stuff, and was doing great.
But I haven't ticked off Iranians lately, so
no, I don't. I think you're safe from that for now. He went to George Washington University. He was pronounced dead at 10:23 on Saturday. Autopsy was complete on Sunday, which was quick, I think, for a lot of the right reasons, because there was a cloud over it with foreign governments saying that they assassinated him. Kind of crazy. Mark Siegel, who did not treat Graham, said blood rushes through the tear and causes a layer of the aortic wall to separate, which can disrupt blood flow to vital organs or lead to fatal rupture if not treated immediately. It can come on in minutes or days. It's hard to recognize. It can evolve over time. Symptoms often appear suddenly. So it wasn't like he ran around thinking, with a problem and didn't get it taken care of. It said it could be from a small tear to a big one very quickly. And the organs run out of oxygen, which is what they like. The high risk groups, I want to go through that.
Okay.
Don't panic though.
I'm not panicking. I'm still feeling good at 70.
Older adults, particularly those in their 60s and 70s, men who are diagnosed more often than women. Other cardiac diseases such as aortic arrhythmia, which weakens the walls of the aorta. People born with certain heart defects, like aortic valve defects, those with inherited connective tissue disorders, including Marfan syndrome, smokers, and people with long-standing high cholesterol, both of which contribute to artery damage. People with diabetes, obesity, those who are physically inactive or eat an unhealthy diet. Now, that's the catch-all.
Would double cheeseburgers every day with French fries help me or not help me with this problem?
I could look it up, but I would guess not.
Okay.
I would guess not.
Dr. Joe could tell us how up to par.
I like Dr. Joe.
Me too.
Yeah. The signs you should never ignore. Symptoms of, this sudden severe chest or upper back pain. often described as tearing, ripping, or stabbing, which may spread to the neck and back. Now, I'm not a guy that likes hospitals. I'm not volunteering to I'm not doing anything this afternoon. Let's go do a checkup or something. But if I had that going on, I would go. And I know people that don't, that think I'm okay. And I've been guilty of it in the past, I guess. But, shortness of breath, severe sudden abdominal pain, loss of consciousness. Now, lack of consciousness, you don't even have to want to go. It looks like it's coming for you.
No, those symptoms sound like things I experienced years ago.
And
but,
did you get it checked out?
Well, of course not. But I am having blood work done by Dr. Joe at up to par right now.
Yeah.
I got to show up and look at the blood work.
Okay.
So who knows what will happen.
Stroke-like symptoms such as sudden vision changes, difficulty speaking, and I'm having that today. Weakness or numbness on one side of the body, leg pain or difficult walking. Aortic dissection is one of those diseases that emergency physicians think of often when someone presents with chest pain, specifically pain described as a tearing sensation with elevated blood pressure. So it looks like if you go in there, it's going to be kind of like an immediate thing. It can get worse quickly, I guess.
I think what you're saying to me is maybe go back and do the blood test analysis with Dr. Joe.
Do it.
I think I should
get it done.
I'll do it.
It's got a high mortality rate. That's bad.
Sounds bad.
Yeah. Untreated dissections involving the ascending aorta, the risk of death increases by approximately 1 to 2% for every hour treatment is delayed. Wow. Every hour.
Every hour?
Yeah, 1% every hour, 1 to 2%.
Hey, I'm glad we got a clock here. I can watch the clock.
Put it off for 3 days. That's fine. See what happens. Wow. 20% of type A patients will die in the hospital compared to 10% for treated type B dissections. And I don't know the difference between the two. Wow. That doesn't sound like a fun thing to do. Let's take a phone call. You can't hear without the headset.
Okay.
Danny, good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
We're doing well, man.
Yeah. Hey, kind of a bad time in the Republican Party right now, huh?
Well, because it's a great loss. Lindsey, a great contributor to the Republican Party. Yeah, he's being praised by both Democrats and Republicans. That's kind of rare. I mean, there's a lot of people in politics that have passed. The other side of the aisle won't even speak their name.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Well, that speaks volumes, right?
Yeah, it does. It does. He was effective. Of course, when you're in office, the other side of the aisle seems to treat you negatively, no matter what in today's politics or structure. But,
exactly.
Yeah. He really came. Well, he got his most praise from Judge Kavanaugh during the hearings for Judge Kavanaugh. He was the one that stood up and gave a great speech about the hatefulness and the vitriol, the ferociousness in the Senate trying to destroy the man just because he was a Republican. And they say that without him, he might not have been a Supreme Court judge.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, can I ask a question, Russ?
Well, yeah, no. You can ask a question. Go ahead.
Hey, Danny, you're a Chicago guy like me, right? You're a Chicago.
Yes, sir. Who is
it? This is Sparky from Chicago. Anyway, I'm here living in Yuma now. Have you done the Chicago Route 66 trip down the road a bit?
I think you're a New Yorker.
No, I have not.
What's that?
Danny, are you a New Yorker or a Chicago?
Well, me, I'm Chicago, man.
You're from Chicago?
Yeah.
All right. South side?
Well, actually north side, but I have a lot of things going on in the south side.
Yes.
Or did.
Dangerous place.
Well, anyway,
yeah.
Next time you go, bring me back some deep dish pizza, okay, Danny? That'd be great.
Okay, Sparky, right?
Yeah, Danny Sparky.
Okay, Sparky. Yeah. So what side? North side, south side? What side?
I was on the west side, and Mount Prospect Des Plaines, just outside the city limits there.
Oh, okay. Well, I actually grew up about 5 miles west of O'Hare Field, in a town called Bensonville. It was a train town.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know that. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
great.
Yeah.
I love the trains going in out of Chicago.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, without them, it wouldn't work.
Did you ever do road trips like out of Chicago on Route 66 down the road a bit?
No, I have not, and I'm gonna do that one of these days, Sparky.
I'm on the road in about a week. I'm heading out to Chicago in 3 weeks to see this Chicago again.
Good, good. Well, enjoy yourself. Take in a ball game if you can.
Oh, I'm still like drawn between the Cubs and the White Sox. I'm not sure who to see yet.
Well, I don't know how the schedule is, but back in the day, me and one of my best friends lived right outside of Wrigleyville, so we would go. And in those days, it was only 1:30 games, afternoon games. So we would go see a Cub game in the afternoon, and then at nighttime we'd go to jump on the expressway and go see the White Sox. And at that time it was Comiskey.
That's so cool. Hey, maybe one day get Russ out there and get him a baseball season.
Yeah, I'll go, Danny.
Yeah, well, Russ, you're going to come back about 20 pounds heavier.
Everywhere I go, I come back 20 pounds heavier. It's fine.
Okay, gentlemen, we'll talk to you, okay?
Hey, wait, before you go, I can get tickets to the Cubs.
You can?
Yeah, I know the Rickett family.
You do?
He comes on the radio quite often.
Aren't you special? I've never heard him on your radio.
Yeah.
Are you pulling one on me?
No. He was the let's see what Rick. He was the governor of Nebraska. Now he's a senator, I think.
Yeah. All I know is from what I hear, and I don't know that much about it because I don't live there anymore. Is the Rickett family got rid of WGN out of Cub. Out of Cubs, and some WGN, they're the whole reason the Cubs. Well, not the, but they grew up with. I grew up with WGN and the Cubs.
Well, Pete Ricketts is the he was the governor. He was the 40th governor of Nebraska, and he used to call in a few times every year. He still calls in as a senator, and he's always told me, hey, if you ever get in the Chicago area, let me know. We'll get you into the game.
Okay.
Cool. And I imagine they would be good seats. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm sure they would.
I don't have any plans to go, but I think it would be a great trip.
Well, absolutely. Well, there you go, Sparky.
Yeah, hook me up, Russ. I'm
Right.
in a month from now.
Okay.
Chicago,
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, right.
I'll call Pete.
Pete.
Thank you, sir. Take care, Danny. Bye.
You're a big wheeler dealer, aren't you, Russ?
No, man. I just answer the phone. That's all I do. Take care.
See you later.
Bye. I just answer the phone. George Braun out of Washington. He's my Washington bureau chief. He knew Pete Ricketts, so he's had Pete Ricketts call in.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it is.
Now, are you following the Cubs football thing where they're moving?
Football?
Yeah, you don't cover.
You mean
Bears?
the Bears
and the governor.
Yeah, they're going. It's Chicago's fault. I mean, the Bears wanted to stay in Chicago. They didn't want to stay where they were. They wanted an upgrade. They wanted to get something done, and nobody would act on it. They wouldn't do it. And then Indiana stood up and said, "We got something for you." And there were actually two places in Illinois that wanted it, and they started poisoning each other as they fought for it. So it only had one place to go. That was Indiana.
Yeah,
isn't that something?
And they're going
Chicago politics. What?
It's really weird because I grew up with the Bears, so I got to go to Indiana to see the Bears.
The
game.
Bears.
The Bears.
That's very famous on Saturday Night Live.
It was great.
It was very
Bears,
good.
Yeah.
Very good. But it's gone now. They're not going to have them in Chicago, and they deserve it. I mean, it's just so mismanaged, and they didn't take it seriously. They didn't. They have to spend money on illegal aliens. We don't have time to spend money on a new stadium. And the new stadium brought a lot to the community. And I know there's always that discussion about why should tax dollars pay for a stadium? Well, that's up to each community, make your own decisions on it. The reason they do it though, is because it brings so much business, so much extra tourism and everything. It more than increases the tax take than what they spend if it's played right.
Yes.
You know, and a lot of places are very successful. And I think Chicago will be hurt without it. Not just, I mean, image wise and tourism wise, and they're taking away all the reasons to go to Chicago.
It's yeah, and I haven't talked to my buddies in Chicago, so I should find
Yeah.
out what they're thinking about the Bears.
I imagine, I don't know. I mean, there's some people that think, well, good riddance because we don't want to spend tax dollars.
Mhm.
Well, what they'll realize once they're gone, all those people that paid taxes to be there that were associated with the Bears more than made up for the tax dollars they spent, I would imagine.
I
As
would
well
think,
as well as all the hotels that
Oh,
got
yeah.
filled and all the other stuff. So yeah, they do pay for a stadium, and it's one of those competition things because every city, big city, would like to have a big attraction like that to bring notoriety and business to their communities. At one time, states and cities used to fight to get those businesses. Not so much anymore. You got people like Seattle that'll chase them away, and San Francisco and LA that we don't need them. New York, we don't need businesses. Now, in the short term, everyone's going to yell heroes until the subways don't run, the roads don't get fixed,
Mhm.
and there's no money for all the grandioso plans that they have, like Mandani for sure, where he wants to buy grocery stores that don't make profit
Mm.
so that they can give food away cheaper and stuff.
Yeah.
There's been results of that already. Grocery stores have closed shop and left New York, knowing that it's coming.
Yeah.
They know it's coming, and so they hurt themselves more than help them. And by the time it's all over, I think there's going to be a price increase of groceries. It's not going to be less money. These people in New York.
It didn't work in Kansas City. They had that same system. It didn't work.
Oh, where it was owned.
Yeah. They just had to close down.
Now, I just talked about Mitch McConnell. His wife is in China. That's where she's from. Now, I was wrong. One of the guys who listens to the show said Elaine Chao is from Taipei, Taiwan, which I double checked. That's true. She's from Chinese parents and descendant, and she has business in China. So I don't know how it all works, but she originally, I mean, she was born in Taiwan. I didn't know that. I always thought she was just Chinese. I've only heard her introduced as Chinese, but apparently has Chinese parents.
Okay.
And I don't know if they were citizens of Taiwan, but right now she's in China.
Is she still there?
I don't have any idea. You know, there's been so little transparency coming from this senator that's been ill. It's kind of weird because usually in the politics world, there's, you know, they like to get the notoriety and let everybody know what's going on. I mean, there's only 100 senators in the whole world, and it's particularly somebody as powerful as Mitch McConnell, and to just stay quiet for 3 weeks, a month, it's not common.
No.
And especially when he says everything's doing fine, and apparently he talked to two people. They said for 20 minutes, and one was the president of the Senate talked to him, oh yeah, we had 20-minute call, and he was aware, he was up current with all the news and what's going on in Ukraine and Russia, and we talked about that and all that 20 minutes. I mean, but what I've seen on air, it would be hard to talk to Mitch McConnell for 20 years. He's just been losing that cognitive connection. But I don't know. I don't know him. I've never met him. But he's depleted from where he was, and he gets around by wheelchair pretty much because he's been falling. And this last report about him being in the hospital was because of a fall, apparently.
Now he's a Kentucky guy, huh?
Yes, correct. Yeah, he's out of Kentucky. But the lack of stuff, and then when he does come out to assure everybody after Lindsey Graham died, and when I mentioned to Helen, my wife, that Lindsey Graham died, you know, and I was talking about it and about a short illness, she said, I thought he was sick for a while and everything. She was thinking of Mitch McConnell.
Right.
I said Lindsey Graham, but she heard Mitch McConnell.
Sure.
Because that was the expectation.
Yeah.
Well, so apparently he came out with that picture holding a newspaper. It's kind of like a ransom guy does. You know, when you have a ransom, they say, give me proof of life. So they have the guy hold up the paper. I was like, why didn't he just put on a video or something that
I don't know.
I'm doing fine.
Kentucky folks have that Kentucky bourbon. Maybe he had one too many.
I don't think he could take the bourbon right now. I think he's holding on to reality by threads. So I don't think he needs alcohol in the system, but I don't know him. Maybe he does. Maybe he does. I have no idea. Let me see a lot of well wishers on Lindsey Graham since I mentioned him. See Senator Jackie Rosen, a Democrat out of Nevada, praised him, true public servant for American people, in his own statement on X. He put that out there. While we didn't see eye to eye on every topic, Lindsey put differences aside so we could come together to support American national security and our allies around the world. I was proud to work with him to support Ukraine and bolster Abraham Accords, one of the most consequential agreements that opened the door to unprecedented cooperation in the Middle East. By the way, the Abraham Accords were brought on by President Trump, and that's a Democrat that said great things about the Abraham Accords. He may lose his position for that.
Maybe.
Yeah, you're not supposed to talk good about Trump if you're a senator or representative, even.
Even my neighbor, he doesn't want me to talk good about Trump. But
is that right?
One of them, but he went back to Oregon.
Do you run into people with Trump derangement syndrome?
Yeah.
You do?
Yes,
Okay.
I do. I mean, but I'm pretty.
It's a terrible disease.
Yeah, but I'm kind of a comedian at heart, so I just listen and then make a joke, and it works for me, you know. But
listening is the key.
Yes,
listening is the key. The jokes, not so much, but the listening's for sure.
Yeah.
You know, lighthearted's fine, but quite often in our politics of today, everybody wants to be heard, and nobody listens. And if you listen, you throw people off because they're not used to it.
That's why I've learned to listen to my wife of 2 years.
That's not what she's been telling me.
Well, I'm listening now.
She hasn't told me that at all. She would not do that. Well, this doesn't mean a lot to you and me, but I'm going to talk about it. America's retirement system is broken, is the start of this article.
American retirement
system. The system is broken, and Trump wants to fix it, which I congratulate. Yes. I mean, that's good. And we hear about Social Security, but in my lifetime, maybe yours, we've lived about the same time.
Yeah.
There's always a president fixing Social Security. Jimmy Carter fixed Social Security so that I would never have to worry about it. I remember when he did it.
Do you remember?
I remember. Because I wasn't worried about it at the time, but I remember that was a big deal for him, that he was going to fix Social Security. And he did it. But we find out that the fix didn't last.
So the fix was in, but
that fix was in.
Yeah.
But this fix didn't last. Jimmy Carter's system. But everybody tweaks it and everybody looks at it. And one of the fixes that they had on Social Security was they would just extend, you don't retire at full retirement at 65.
Mm-hmm.
You now do it at 67.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you know how they came up with the 65?
No.
Here's what I understand is they took it. Well, after the Civil War, you had pensions, retirement, and all that. And it started at 65. And the Social Security system continued with that. And the way the Civil War people came up with it, there was a question asked is, what's the life expectancy? How long do people live? Said they live to be 65. That'll be the retirement age.
Wow, that was good.
Yeah, that was great, man. Just put it right there.
And so you've made it past 65.
I did. I mean, a lot of people are surprised, but it's good. It's good. But 65 had been that since the Civil War was retirement, 65. So they felt comfortable moving it to 67. Although you start messing with old people's money, it's politically an upheaval, and old people vote. In fact, did people vote?
Well,
in Chicago,
yes, they do. I was trained that way with the Chicago stuff.
Yeah, Chicago's been corrupt for years. At least the rumor of it is, and I would think that rumor's true. But they moved it to 67. But when they made that decision to move it to 67, it wasn't effective immediately. It was effective like 10 years later. They pushed it way down to try to soothe the masses. Like it's not going to affect you. It's going to affect somebody that's not paying attention because they're still raising their family.
No, that's smart.
Yeah, well, I guess so.
No, that's because most of us,
I guess so.
That raise families, I didn't have kids, so
Okay.
But a lot of like you and my wife, you raise family. You're not paying attention to Social Security when you're 40.
Well, no, for a few reasons. You think you're going to live forever and
Yeah.
that you won't need it, and somehow you'll hit the lottery.
No, that's what my plan was. I was investing in the lottery ticket every week, and that was my retirement plan. It didn't work though, by the way.
Yeah, it didn't work. Your retirement plan?
Not with a lottery ticket every
Well,
week.
Oh, the lottery ticket every week.
Yeah, and
There's some people that do that.
no, it was my retirement.
It is
plan,
your retirement plan.
and it didn't work.
Are you still buying the lottery tickets?
No, because I got married and my wife.
She has money.
Yeah.
Got it. I got it. So you're
yeah. That's all. I've been leeching off the lady for 2 months.
Well, that's okay. As long as you're taken care of.
No,
that's fine.
I'm doing fine right now.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. The Social Security is not a retirement plan, but we keep thinking of it as a retirement plan.
Mhm.
Social Security was always a supplement. In fact, when it first started, it was not mandatory. It was always going to be, and it's the way these systems get in place. Don't worry about it. It's only going to affect a couple people. It's not hardly anything, and it's optional. And if you don't want retirement, Social Security, you don't have to take it. Of course, over the years, you get a Social Security card at birth now.
Yeah, and they send you notices. Have you noticed when we were getting a little past 55, you got notices all the time?
I didn't like it.
I got constant notices.
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it either.
I started getting things from AARP and
Me
stuff,
too,
and I'm
at
thinking
55.
I'm not even old. What am I getting AARP stuff for? I was older than I thought. I remember the first time I ever got a senior citizen discount. I refused it.
Not me. I love discounts. I was 40. I 40, and they looked. I looked 65.
I was in a movie theater in Tampa, Florida, and going out with some friends or something, and they said we put down the senior citizen discount. I thought it was a joke, and I said, "Well, I'm not even old." And all that, and I said, I'm 55. He says, that's what we do. We give senior citizen discounts at 55.
In Florida.
Well, one restaurant, or it was a movie theater type that had food, one of those places. But yeah, I never forgot it. I hated it. I hated thinking that I was getting old, but it happened regardless. It did happen. Social Security for us was signed into law in 1935. This article says, don't be surprised if Trump name is on the retirement account. If he fixes it, it would be called the Trump Social Security. I don't know. I doubt that, but that's actually funny because he does put his name on a lot of stuff.
Well, he does.
Yeah. He did on the Kennedy Center for a little while. Trump is thinking about copying the Australian. Now, see, when I think of Australia, I don't think of how well they're doing financially in Australia. I mean, it's kind of an expensive place. The power's expensive, and they're kind of at one time I was offered a job in Australia, but I didn't qualify because I was married, and you can't take your wife. They're very picky about coming in the country. You need to have a reason, at least at that time, to come into the country and all that. And they wanted to bring me because I had a skill set that they could use, and they could explain it and get me visas, but they couldn't get one for my wife.
Wasn't Australia started by criminals?
Yeah, it was a big jail.
From England, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
They just put all the malcontents over there.
Were you kind of connected with that?
I was not.
No, okay.
I had a chance to go, but I decided to keep the wife at the time.
That's a better option.
Is it a better good
option? Yeah.
Well, Trump says that our economy is barely, is built for an economy. Well, our retirement is built for an economy that doesn't exist anymore. People used to work for one employer 30 years, receive a pension, collect Social Security, and retire. Social Security was built for people to claim it at 65 to live to be about 70. That's gone. People are lucky if they work the same company for 5 years, let alone 30, and pensioners are nearly gone. And we know the savings rate in America is an abysmal 2.6%. Americans change jobs every few years. Millions work as freelancers, independent contractors, Uber drivers, or for employers that don't even offer a 401k. I think all those things are true. Let me take a phone call and talk to Mike for a minute. Good morning, Mike.
Mad Mike.
Hey, Mad Mike. What's up?
Don't get me confused with all them other Mikes.
Little chance of that, man.
Yeah. All right. So I apologize if I missed something going in and out. My routine.
Right.
But who is this Rainbow Warrior you got on?
That
What's his background? What's he doing here?
He's a guy I met on the side of the road.
Yeah, that basically.
It's Mark. I've known Mark and his wife, I don't know, 3 or 4 years.
You went to my wedding, so
I went to your wedding. Yeah. How long you been married?
2 years.
He's been married 2 years. So I've known him for a while. Nice guy. And he said he'd like to come in and sit in. And I said, you're more than welcome.
And actually,
I'm not doubting that he's a nice guy or not. I just was curious what his expertise was, what his background was, what he brings to the table.
He's an expert man in the street.
There you go.
Well, thank you. And this is a Road Warrior shirt.
Yes, he's
from Oklahoma.
Warrior. He's a road warrior at that.
Because we're doing road trip trivia.
That we are. What do you got on your mind, Mad Mike?
I did 4 states over Independence Day. I almost said the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Of course, it's the 4th of July. That's a day on a calendar. Independence Day weekend, I did 4 states. So I know what
he's
traveling.
He's an Uber driver too.
Being a road warrior is.
A road warrior, 4 states. That's cool.
Don't give you
took my daughter to visit family.
Oh, could you tell me the best experience of the 4 days? Because I got to do that pretty soon.
Yeah. It was seeing my sisters, but more specifically, the one sister that was just placed into an assisted living memory care facility a couple months ago. I haven't seen her for either one of them actually for years, but the purpose of the trip was to show my daughter the desert Southwest from more than Yuma's sand and dirt and blowing debris and some of the beauty that Utah and Idaho. And we had a quick little stop in Vegas and California when you come down and cross over the river. So like I said, it was four states in those 4 days.
Well, that sounds cool, Mike. Your daughter loved it, I bet.
Yeah, I hope so too. She seemed to, but she's preteen, so it's hard to judge her reactions other than in the moment.
That's right. It'll change every day.
I'll let you go. I'm driving, but now I feel more.
You wonder who Mike
informed.
was? Okay. See you, buddy. Take care.
Have a good day, Mike. God bless you, brother.
Mad Mike. That was Mad Mike.
I like this guy.
He's just not like we have other Mikes, and he just doesn't want to be associated with normal Mike.
No, that's great. No, I like this Mad Mike guy. Taking his daughter on a journey, a road trip is really cool.
Now you for some reason wanted to talk about vacations today.
No, not vacations. The 250th anniversary of America.
The 250th anniversary of America.
And all the road trips that we.
the road trips. That's what I took as vacations. Road trips.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah, because.
Are you a road trip guy? You like road trips?
My Marine dad forced me on road trips since I was 8.
I had an Air Force dad. So every year we took like a month-long trip all over the place.
Yeah.
We saw America from the back seat of a station wagon.
With how many kids?
4 of us.
And mom and dad.
And mom and dad.
And that started from where? Well, the first road trip.
I don't know because we lived all over, but I remember St. Louis, Missouri. We spent a lot of time there, Minot, North Dakota, Dover, Delaware. By then the road trips were less by the time I got to Dover, but Waco, Texas, Bangor, Maine, but wherever we lived in the Air Force, they bounce you around. We'd jump in the station wagon and just make it home for a while. Because I'm gonna tell you, Dad did not stop driving. In fact, if I said I was hungry, my mom could make a bologna sandwich and pass it over her shoulder in like less than a minute from the front seat.
What a skill. That
was something else, man. She knew what was going on all the time in the back seat. I didn't realize she was always looking in the mirror. I didn't pick up on that right away as a kid. I was wondering, how does she know everything that's going on? Well, she had mirrors.
Yeah, that is so cool.
And a picnic basket up front. And she'd make you a bologna sandwich if you said you were hungry.
And did you remember seeing the arch at St. Louis?
Yes, we saw that.
That is so cool. And that's where Sean Duffy, the transportation secretary, he was doing road trips this year with his wife and 9 kids. And that was one of the things they put on the list was to go through St. Louis. And they got videos of showing all this if you go on.
Yeah. You used to be able to go in it. I don't know if you still can. You used to be able to go to the top. Just like in the Statue of Liberty, you could go to the top. You can't anymore.
I don't know.
Can't go all the way up. No.
I don't know. I got to go near there. I'm going up the road to Hannibal, Missouri.
You are?
Yeah, you told me about.
Well, that's right. You're going to go to the Mark Twain cave.
Well, you told me the real name of the guy, and I didn't even know it.
Samuel Adams. Oh, no, Samuel Clemens.
Adams.
Samuel Clemens.
I thought Samuel Adams was the president and guy made beer.
And he made beer, but he was never president.
Oh, well, okay. Well, that's how much I know about. That's why I'm going on road trips to learn all these things. So I'm going to go like to Hannibal with my granddaughter who's 12 and get her. You suggested go to the cave.
Oh yeah, it's a vacation trap, and it was one I liked. I liked a lot. It's a lot of history in the cave, other than just Mark Twain stuff, and made it famous. The cave, I guess they hid out there, but a lot of people hid out in that cave. So
that's what I'm excited now. I'm getting there and taking her to the cave on your suggestion.
Do it.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And my wife loves it. The idea too, but she wants to leave me in the cave for a while. So
understandable.
That makes sense.
Yeah, of course it does. We have caves in Arizona. Go visit caves.
I heard about that, but I don't like closed encounters, like really small places.
So we've got some mines nearby that would be a little claustrophobic for you, maybe.
Have you done the Dome Valley mine thing?
Yes.
Is it claustrophobic?
No, not to me, but because I'm not claustrophobic. But I mean, someone that is claustrophobic, maybe. I have no idea. I can't relate.
Okay, so I would like to do that too. To do the Dome Valley mine.
Yeah. No, I know the owner pretty well, Alan up there, and he's an interesting fellow that put that all together, and the mine and the Castle Dome museums and all the buildings, and he works around the clock. He loves it. Put in his own solar systems and drug all that stuff out of the desert because he just loves the history and puts it all together. And
that's on my checklist because I heard you talk about that like 6 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you need to get up there. But my road trips, I don't think I look at them with great fondness. I mean, it was always we were more time in the car.
No.
Than we were visiting something.
Mm-hmm. Well, you were lucky. My father and my mother had a plan. They had me run alongside of the car.
Okay.
Instead of just in the car.
I can understand.
But
it takes you too long to get there. I don't think. But we went to the Grand Canyon once. I remember that. And we literally went to the edge of the Grand Canyon, parked the car. We got out and looked at it for a little while. And Dad says, okay, now we've seen it. Get back in the car. We didn't spend the day. We didn't go to restaurants. We didn't do any of that. We ate bologna in the car and drove and complained about them smoking and them telling us, stop complaining. It's not going to kill you.
Hey, you know what?
But they didn't listen to Coop, the Surgeon General.
No, but this road trip to the Grand Canyon, it almost sounds like a little bit like Chevy Chase when he made the road trip.
It was not much different.
Yeah, except for he robbed didn't he rob somebody at the Eltar bar?
I don't remember.
Yeah, he took the money and he left a check.
So I didn't know.
And he didn't have bologna sandwiches, I don't think.
All right, I got this list of things that can ruin your vacation. It's a vacation, it doesn't say road trip, it says vacation, but I think it's applicable. Leaving your house a mess before you leave. Last thing you want is for burglars to know you're gone. Does that make burglars think you're gone if your house is a mess? Do they only rob clean places?
I don't know.
Or dirty places?
I've never asked my friends in Chicago who had kind of a skill set that did some of these things.
I think this whole list is suspect when they start off with
I never thought about having a clean home so my ex-buddies would come in and not steal things.
I think the thing I've always heard before you leave, if you're going to be on an extended road trip or something, is to stop having your newspapers delivered because you had 4 newspapers out front may be an indication.
Yeah.
Have your neighbors check it, bring it in, whatever, or stop delivery and all that. But not leaving it a mess.
Yeah.
I don't care.
You know what I found? My wife has a skill. So everyday packages end up on the
Amazon.
Every day.
Amazon.
And if I'm gone for a month, I don't know what that will mean with packages,
We have so many Amazon packages being delivered every day in Yuma. They opened up their own terminal here.
Yes.
And do it themselves instead of having the post office and other agencies.
I got to know the Amazon guy's name by name usually because he's always there at my house.
We get them a lot. The forgetting to pack items like passport tickets, the toothbrush, all that kind of stuff. I think that's common. I don't worry about it.
Toothpaste?
No, I don't worry about if I skip something. No big deal. I got a few dollars. I can stop at a Walmart. I don't care. Unless it's a passport. You can't pick that up at a Walmart.
No, and I have a passport.
Socializing only with the people you travel with. Well, we were always in the car. I couldn't socialize with the neighbors. But taking things too seriously, I think that's true. I think quite often people get very nervous and anxious because they're away in strange places, strange deal, and they worry too much about, are we doing it legally? Or is something wrong? Are we allowed to do this or something? I don't know. But when I always traveled with my first wife, she would be anxious. Like we went to Niagara Falls, and she was just, as soon as we got into Canada, she wanted to know if there's special rules on driving in Canada, or are we doing things wrong? And what, we don't want to go to Canadian jail. I said, I don't know what you heard about a Canadian jail, but I'm not doing anything.
No, that makes sense. My first
anxiousness.
Wife, I didn't realize that she was exactly that way.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah, just not used to traveling and stuff, maybe.
Yeah,
that stuff changes.
Like she was only like in the whole California area.
Yeah, she'd tell me that we're in another country now. You got to do something. Okay. I guess I don't take it that seriously. I calm down. Basing your mood on the weather, I guess it's just saying you get in your mind that when I get there, it's all going to be beautiful, but it's raining. I guess you get upset and start crying.
I never thought about the weather. That I don't really even think about the weather when I leave places.
I don't leave with a lot of expectations.
That's good.
We take what we have, whatever it is. We're going to be happy about it. It's going to be new and different.
I have to be honest. I'm going to see the family in Denver, and the granddaughter's 12, and we're going to take her for 3 weeks on a road trip. Do
you have a destinations picked out yet on stopping where you're going to stop?
Yeah, relatives are going to let us stay in Milwaukee.
Okay.
And then we're going to bypass some of Chicago because I don't like big cities anymore. We're going to go to small towns in Indiana, stay with relatives, and she's going to meet all the relatives. I have expectations.
Okay, good. But you don't have it mapped out like on Monday, Tuesday.
No, I did the whole mapping.
You did the whole map. You did the whole what day.
Yeah, I got it all planned, and my wife has it all written down.
I recently went to Ireland for a destination wedding. Helen's son got married in Ireland. And Helen at first wanted me to map, like, what are we going to do this day and that day and that day and that. Mm-hmm. And I just I said, no, let's just get there and we'll see what happens.
Maybe I should follow that. I have this whole regimentation of like, okay, we're at the hotel and then we do this. And then the next morning we go somewhere and we do this, like the zoo, and I have to probably just not have expectations.
I don't. I mean, that's what my comfort is. Like, so I think Helen kind of went along with that. She was a little nervous, like we needed to have a hotel reservation so that we have a place to stay. We don't want to risk it. And I'm saying, there's hotels everywhere. Just drive over there and we'll get a hotel. It's no big deal.
That's what my wife and I had our first arguments.
You had an argument?
First road trip
write that
2 years
down.
ago, yeah. I don't plan like calling hotels in advance.
I don't do it usually. I do it for Helen.
Yeah, but no,
because she's want to make secure that she has a place to sleep.
No, I got my wife to just agree to just pull up at hotels. It worked out pretty good.
Well, on Helen and I's honeymoon, we did that. I only made reservations for the first night, and after that, we just played it by ear. We went where we want, when we wanted. We said, let's go to the next town, and we talked to people, and they'd suggest something. We said, we're heading over there. That kind of stuff. And that's the same thing we did in Ireland, pretty much. We had a destination place that they had rented an Airbnb. But then from then on, we traveled. We had a car. We stopped when we got tired. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air. Good morning, Sandy.
Good morning. This is Sandy. I hate to interrupt the fun conversation.
Do it.
But I wrote it out for you. You can read more detail later. And I heard you speak about this last week. And finally, after all these years, my brain has processed things enough to understand that the reason the Russia collusion hoax was so successful is because people love hoaxes.
Oh, yeah.
And
probably.
You've fallen prey to that, too. Because I can remember before Mitch McConnell and his wife, and she's sitting right next to him in the hospital room, put out the picture and the long statement. Everybody was saying, he's dead, he's dead.
Yep.
And we even had governors right, I'm going to go ask for proof of life, and, you know, throwing fits. Of course, it's on social media, so you wonder sometimes how much truth there is to that.
Well, the governor put it out himself.
So Scott Jennings, which, yes, he works for CNN, has his own podcast. He also used to work for Mitch McConnell, was one of the guys who spoke to Mitch McConnell.
Mm-hmm.
So when I heard Scott Jennings come out and say that he had spoken to Mitch McConnell, I knew it was true, because I've watched these different clips since I won't watch CNN, and I've listened to what Scott Jennings says, and I know him to be an honest man.
Correct.
And I know he wouldn't say that. He wouldn't put his reputation on the line and tell the people that were listening to him on CNN or through clips a lie. He wouldn't have done that. So I'm going like, I know this is just a hoax. And a few people, you know, like I tried to talk to them, and I came to understand they just rather love the hoax than try to listen to the truth.
I think that's. Well, let me interrupt for a second, but I think they go with that because we've all been lied to so much. We've been lied to during COVID, so we're more skeptical about things. Because
you know, that's exactly what my husband said. Though he didn't use COVID, he went back to the killing of JFK, and then a few other things that led to it. So sure. You two are telling me the same thing.
All right,
and I appreciate that. And I understand that, but we're going to have to work, for instance, on trying to discern the difference between when something's a hoax and when there's evidence against that hoax. Like, I had somebody that's just so sure, and I went ahead and wrote in detail, and the person hasn't responded back. I'm not going to get in a big argument with them. But these people just can't believe that Tyler Robinson is the one who killed Charlie Kirk.
I know.
And so they've got all these different hoaxes, which they started right after Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
Right.
And I think as an older person, you've got to try to talk to people and say, now, wait a minute, there's evidence. And so I tried to explain it to this person, and we'll see whether they come to believe it or not. But you certainly don't want people that are on the jury making decisions because they believe that, this must be a hoax. This must be a hoax. You've got to have people that can distinguish truth from fiction. And just, for example, I didn't know, besides falling down, and I've fallen, and I don't want that to happen ever again, which can be bad, but he had pneumonia.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how in the heck I got it, but I had pneumonia recently. And luckily I went to the doctor, took care of it. But I discovered after the pills were gone, and I looked on the internet, you need to rest afterwards. You've got to allow your lungs to heal. And it was the fourth time in my life I've had pneumonia, but the other times I was younger, so that made it a little bit easier.
Sure.
But I had to rest for sure 1 week, and I was scared enough. I rested for 2 weeks after. So when you think about the fact that he had pneumonia on top of falling, you can understand why he was gone. Now, maybe they should have gone in and taken a picture of him when he didn't look so good in the bed, but he wasn't dead. Maybe.
Well, they did. And let me agree with you on all that. And that's why the conspiracy starts. And I think that Mitch McConnell wanted it, because if he's talking to people, he's talking to Scott Jennings, and he's talking to senators, and he's doing all those stuff. He could have easily done a video. He could have easily done something back then, and he knew the conspiracies were going on, and he must have enjoyed it.
Maybe. And I know one thing, like you said earlier, which was right. Even when you present facts and evidence, like I did with this, I don't know if it was a man or a woman, because on social media, you really don't know, with this person, and you present the evidence, they're still tied into that belief in the hoax. Could be an embarrassment factor. How could I have been so wrong? I don't know. But I still want to try to prevent that. And so when you say, well, she's in China, but I really don't know she's in China, that actually just helps manifest the hoax more. But I want to turn now to somebody else, Lindsey Graham.
All right.
And I had no idea that at age 20, he ended up adopting his 13-year-old sister because at that time, both of his parents had passed away.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I don't believe they passed away at the same time, but this little 13-year-old girl didn't have anybody to raise her, and he took on the raising of his sister. That says a lot to me.
Yeah.
So, and I don't want to get too emotional because I don't even know the man.
Yeah.
But this is what I know. He was helping President Trump.
Yes.
He was helping President Trump. And that's what I'm going to miss because not all those congressmen and senators do.
Right.
He was actually in Ukraine and had come back, calls President Trump, and dies a few hours later of this aortic tear.
Right.
So he was working to try to help with the Russia-Ukraine conflict. He was working with President Trump to try to help get peace in the Middle East. And that I'm going to miss. And so that's unfair because I'm not missing him because I'm his sister or relative.
Right.
It's because he was useful.
He was a great voice. Great voice. Yep.
Correct. He started out hateful towards Trump.
Yes.
And all of that, I believe, was based on his friendship with John McCain. John McCain hated Trump so much, and he believed in the Russia collusion hoax and I think he had Lindsey Graham believe in it, because I can remember every morning before Trump even took office that first term, Lindsey Graham and John McCain were on the morning news, just beating the heck out of Trump. Yeah. And so after I think Lindsey discovered on one of these committees he was on that the Russia collusion stuff was crap, that, yeah, John McCain may have believed in it, but he learned the truth. And then, of course, John McCain passed away. And then, it could have been earlier. If John McCain might have been alive when President Trump and Lindsey Graham developed a friendship. But I'm glad he developed a friendship. I'm glad he spoke so eloquently for Brett Kavanaugh. And I'm glad he helped President Trump.
Yep.
And so I'm speaking more as just a regular person because I don't know the man. So anyway,
well,
I'm sorry for getting emotional.
That's fine. I appreciate the call. And he was a critic during January 6th on Trump even. And, he was never married, never had any kids, but they consider him a family man because of the way he took care of his siblings and stuff. That's really good.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know his personal background. I don't know any gossip or anything about relationships he had with whoever. I don't know any of that stuff. But Trump addressed that, his speaking out, and he said about 40 minutes after Lindsey Graham said that, and I think that's one of the clips I shared with you, or you'll see it eventually in the media. You'll see it. Oh. President Trump said 40 minutes after he said that, he called and he apologized to President Trump. And he said, I can't believe I said that. And anyway, their friendship got greater. And his death is a real personal, heartfelt for Trump because he knows him, not me. And anyway, it's just sad because I'm praying that we get a good person to replace him. They can look at the overall picture and understand that you don't want the crazy communist stuff that the Democrats are putting out. What they're doing would destroy this country. So you need to have more Republicans who can understand the big picture and understand how they want that Constitution to stay in place. They want the country to grow strong, and they don't want the undermining of this. Actually, they're communists. You can call them Democrat, socialists, whatever. but it's the communist ideology.
Yeah.
And we really don't need that. So, and I hope you don't feel like I was getting on to you too much. It's just,
No.
I'm seeing so many hoaxes. It just doesn't help. The hoaxes don't help people.
No,
if you can't separate fact from fiction, then we got a supreme problem in this country. And maybe we already do. And you are right. My husband's right.
Mm-hmm.
He always is. And I tell him that.
My wife says the
he
same
really
thing.
is, because he can look at, a lot of times I can get emotional, and he can look at things more matter of factly or whatever. And he was just exactly like you, reminded, a lot of people just don't have trust.
Right.
And I understand that, because I'm one of them, because I figured out the Russia collusion thing was a hoax. Right. I figured it out. But I looked at evidence to figure it out. We
can trust but verify.
Correct. Yeah. And that's what we need to do. And I think why I don't, maybe Mitch, he wanted to get rid of that controversy because, like President Trump, he wanted these next few days to be about Lindsey Graham and not about him. Maybe that's what he did. Maybe, and I don't know that.
I don't know why he's. I don't know why he let it.
But I'm admitting I don't know that.
I don't know why he let it go on for so long, other than it's a game. Because he knew there was controversies. He knew what was going on. He could have done something to kill it, other than talk to Scott Jennings. And I agree, Scott Jennings is trustworthy. I do trust him.
Well, people don't necessarily want to trust him. That was one of the arguments I had with people. And, and finally I just said, the problem is you want to believe the hoax. And that's when it finally dawned on me, oh my God, that's what people want to believe.
Scott Jennings.
They don't want to even try to look at the evidence. They don't want to.
Oh, I know. Scott Jennings is coming to town to an event here in Yuma. Who is? Scott Jennings.
Oh, really?
If you'd like to go, I might be able to arrange that. But,
if it's during the summer, I would rather not. The summer feels like it's eating me up this year.
Well, it's gonna be in a few months, and it's a fundraiser for the
we'll see what the weather's like.
Republican Party. We're putting it together. Actually, Tanya's doing all the work. I'm just taking the credit.
If I know ahead of time, and if I, depending on what's going on with my husband at the time, because he's got some other issues, so that sounds good. It'd be nice to listen to him. I think he would be a very articulate. I had no idea he had worked for Mitch McConnell. I never knew that until he was speaking up, and he told him, I listened to the clip. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, no wonder he got to speak to Mitch McConnell. Mitch knows him.
Right.
And maybe they put that out thinking, oh, that's going to take care of it, but it didn't. If Trump's not seen for one day, what do they say? The left says he's
one
dead.
day. I know. I have Scott Jennings on September 7th on my calendar. I'm assuming that's the correct date.
Okay, I'll put it on my calendar and I'll speak to him and I'll let you know. He's got maybe a possible operation, so we just have to. We're just waiting.
Good. I hope it works out.
If that's happening at that time, I won't go to China because I don't own any business in China. That could be why she had to go, folks. It could be that, okay, Mitch can't go. I'm okay. This business stuff has to be taken care of because even if he's in the hospital, we got to take care of business. And I don't really like that they're doing stuff with the shipping company in China. Mm-hmm. But if it's not illegal, and she could be, it's very possible. It's like me. If, say, my husband was in the hospital and stuff needed to be taken care of, what would I have to do? I'd have to take care of stuff.
Right.
And so maybe that makes it easier for me to see because people are going ballistic saying, oh, she's in China, so obviously he must be dead. And it's like, holy crap.
Oh, there's been tons.
So anyway, I didn't mean to take up so much time. Sure. Your guest is great. Sounds like he's doing fun stuff, and we need that. We need humor. We need laughter. we need fun.
Well,
And
thank you,
and we
Sandy.
also need to be responsible, of course.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you, Sandy. And
Thank you for listening.
No, I've been hearing the radio for years. I appreciate all your research, and I'll be praying for your husband's situation there, Sandy.
Okay, well, thank you. And we may end up having to put some off, but anyway, we're just trying. We keep trying every day. That's all what we do. And we want to just continue, because I told him, I said, the only way we can help our families is by continuing to live and survive and thrive. But when you get older, things happen.
Yeah.
You know, and so unfortunately with Lindsey Graham, that was catastrophic. And it's sad, if he'd had any symptoms before it where he could identify it, where he could have been in a hospital, he might have survived it.
Yeah.
But it's, depends on where that tear was. I was reading about it because I wanted to understand it. And so I was listing off the things to my husband last night. I said, oh my God, I'm remembering this, but there was one part I still can't remember, and I can't find, something about an infection, because the plaque gets in there. The plaque causes an infection. It builds a bulge that thins the wall, and the heart is pumping blood through it. And at some point, what it can do, because it's thin, the plaque has thinned the wall, and with the infection, that it bursts through or something.
Sounds terrible.
But there's so many, too much technical stuff too. So I can't understand it all. He could have had a tear in the middle, and I'm going like, okay, I understand the basics. And you said September 7th, right?
That's right.
Okay, I'm going to put it on my calendar, talk to him, but we're going to have to see how things go.
Thank you, ma'am.
That's what I've learned too. I have to be patient, and you can tell sometimes I'm not a very patient person. I know that because family members tell me that.
All right. Well, stay just like you are. Don't change.
Fixed. Say again?
Don't change. Stay just like that.
Okay. Well, they sometimes say you're too bossy, you're impatient, and I keep working on it.
Take care.
So you guys have a great day.
God bless you now,
Sandy.
Sandy.
All right. Bye.
Yeah, she doesn't like conspiracy theories.
I don't know. I love her research.
Sure.
And I've been listening for years.
Oh, she sends me stuff constantly. She's paying attention, and she's aggressively looking at the stories, at what's going on in the country, has opinions and all that. I think that's great. And
I love it.
She sends a lot of things my way.
We have a lot of interesting, loving people in Yuma that are connected.
Sure.
And Mel, what was the gentleman that used to be on the radio here? Mel.
Oh, Mel Shoney.
And he's still in Wichita, I think, right?
He's in Kansas somewhere.
Yeah.
He went to Dorothy Land.
Yeah, but he calls in once in a while.
He does. He listens. He pays attention. Had him on here for quite a while.
I know.
He's been friends for many years.
Yeah.
And miss Mel. Mel's a great guy. And he was very engaged in the community.
Yes.
He did a lot of great things. He does. All right, I'm getting back to your to road trips, vacations. And I got some things that can ruin it. Spending more money than you plan. So I don't know how you do that.
Okay. Now, like I said, when I did my financial work before I got married, I was doing the lottery ticket every month. And
great.
It didn't work out, but I got on a budget before I got married 2 years ago.
So you're on a budget now?
Yeah. And
you have a budget for your road trip?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Yes, I do.
All right.
And so I'm pretty happy with that.
Getting sick from eating unfamiliar food or drinking unclean water. I would think it would be for drinking alcohol, but getting sick and all that. So be careful.
I think my dad, when he was a Marine, taking us on road trips, might have had a few adult beverages.
My parents never drank when I was younger. They never did that. They became alcoholics later in life.
Yeah. No, my dad mastered that with my mother later on in life.
Later in life, yeah. They just decided that if it's noon, self-medication.
Yes.
It just unfortunate.
But you know what we do now, like older folks like me?
What?
We self-medicate with comfort food.
I've been known to do that.
And so I'm kind of nervous because I'm going back to Chicago, which is comfort food.
You don't eat a lot. You eat very little.
No, but this whole Chicago thing of pizzas.
Yeah, I was gonna say the pizza. They're famous for Chicago pizzas. Chicago.
And like bratwurst in Wisconsin. And it's not going to be good for my system.
Okay, you'll probably get sick. Nothing you can do about that. Overscheduling yourself. Now, see, we talked about scheduling. I think you can overschedule the trips to where your every minute's accounted for, and you don't have any free time. Free time to talk to people and find out what's great in the area, and then fit it in.
Well, this is where we're going to sit with the relatives and talk.
Yeah,
and I'm excited about that. But what I do, I get up at 5 a.m. in a hotel, and I go find the local cafe in the local town, and I sit and I listen.
Okay, this next pothole or thing you need to watch out for, and my wife's done this. My ex-wife did this before. Traveling with the wrong person.
My ex-mother-in-law might have qualified for that. Yes.
Yeah, traveling with the wrong person. Make sure you travel with the right person. Watch out for theft. I've never had that happen. Go somewhere out of town and have.
You've never been robbed.
I had a burglary in my domicile once, but I've never been on a trip. In fact, I went to the Cayman Islands once for a week, and I left my wallet in a taxi cab. And the next morning when I walked out of my room, the taxi driver was waiting out front to make sure he got it back to me.
I should go to the Cayman Islands.
The Cayman Islands. Yeah. Isn't that something?
Because when I was in East Africa, they got me with knives, robbed me of everything.
Yeah, that's not good.
No.
Yeah, you told me that's right. That's scary. Yeah, go to the Cayman Islands.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the Cayman Islands.
Very, very honest from everything we ran into. Thank goodness. Otherwise, it could have been a catastrophe. Messing your flight or bus ride home, you don't have to worry about it on a road trip. Losing your passport, wallet, or your phone would have been my wallet in the Cayman Islands. And I mean, it's still unbelievable how friendly and decent those people. We went down there for diving for a whole week. My ex-wife's boss, was a big diver and a boater. So he had his boat shipped to the Cayman Islands and then bought us all plane tickets to go down there. And we had a dive master on the boat and spent a whole week just diving every day. In fact, the boss didn't want to do it. He just let us say, take the boat, take my dive master as much as you want. We go out 3 or 4 times a day diving, some places that were just National Geographic type things, diving with the sharks, the fish, the stingrays, boat wrecks, you name it. It was everything down there.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was great. Overstaying your visa, don't worry about that in here. Overpacking or underpacking. If anything, I don't overpack really. I go light.
See, I've got the grandkids now. Like in Denver, I bought all these gifts, like really weird stuff. And so I've got this whole bag full of like gifts, and I kind of dress up once in a while on the road. So I got all these weird stuff I'm going to wear.
A bad tour, and I'm sure they're talking about like a bad tour that you pay for.
Was that like, did you have a good tour in the cave, Mark Twain cave?
Oh yeah, those are great. Those are like 1 hour, 2 hours or something like that. But there's some people that buy a tour package, like you go to Europe and a tour guide will show you around for a week or something. I guess there's some bad ones. I've never done that too much. I've done, go out on a cruise ship, and that's kind of like tour stuff. But I've always had good experiences on those.
Well, that was my profession. I was international tour guide and local tour guide for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I went around places.
What did you tour? Where?
Locally, Southern California and Tijuana.
Okay.
And it was fun.
And you would take people to Tijuana and show them around?
Yeah.
Do you speak Spanish at all?
Yeah, a little.
Okay. And so you would take them around, and that might be interesting. But apparently there's some bad ones. Hidden hotel fees. I've only run into that really in Washington, D.C.
What happened?
Washington, D.C. sucks is what happens. Well, no, you get the hotel rate in D.C., but there's so many fees on top of it. Like you don't realize, the hotel stay was $250 or something, which will suck up. But then you had to buy a minimum of $30, $40 at breakfast. You had to, it was required. And you had to pay for parking. It was required. And then there was another excise fee and a bunch of stuff. Well, that hotel, it ended up being twice what it was almost. I mean, it was just ridiculous.
So I'm not going to DC, but I found that hotels want $75 to $100 sometime for my dog.
Yeah, dogs are a nuisance.
I have
you take a dog.
I got a 13-year-old dog.
Yeah.
I'm making her go work at this moment to raise the money. $75 just for the dog.
Just let people take care of the dog for you.
No, well, you want to take care of my dog?
Find somebody else. No, but And taking the dogs can be trouble. A lot of hotels won't take them.
I've been researching that. Yeah.
Well, because they bark even, and the neighbors
Well,
in the hotel room next door, you know, they're going to beat on the walls and stuff.
well, I bark too, and that's
Yeah, they do that too. They don't want you to. They don't want you to do that. So just don't overspend your budget. Hard to do if you're taking grandkids.
well.
They're going to want things.
I budgeted for her. I give her $50 a day to do whatever she wants.
Oh my gosh!
I gone overboard. $50 a day to do whatever you want.
Okay, I want you to adopt me.
I know this is this is my first grandchild vacation ever. I'm like, I'm overspending.
I just took my 9-year-old granddaughter, Caitlin, to church yesterday. She wanted to go to church.
Did you charge her to go to church?
No, it did not. But I was very glad to go pick her up and take her to church. And at that age, she didn't set in the general population. You know, she went upstairs for the fourth graders, all that kind of stuff. And come find out she had, and it was a fun day at Church for the City.
Oh, cool.
Fun day.
I love it.
So that was the day we go outside and all that stuff. The reason she wanted to go is she has a boyfriend named Coy.
She's 9 right now.
That was going. Yeah, she's going to the church.
And how old is he?
He's the same age in her class at school.
Oh, okay.
And wonderful young man. Wonderful young
9-year-old.
9-year-old. I liked him.
I
liked his parents.
Did you take him out for ice cream?
No. In fact, it was a fun day, which included food and jumpy jumps and slides a whole bit. So they had plenty going on. We didn't have to take her out for ice cream. She was eating a snow cone all the way home when I took her home.
This is great. A 9-year-old fun day with Grandpa.
Yeah, well, with Coy, the boyfriend.
But no, really with Grandpa too.
Well, and she came over, and then Helen and I were eating at the table, and she said, "Well, I'm going to go in the water slide and all that." She went over there, and she came back to politely introduce Coy to me, which was the right thing to do. And I said, "So this is your boyfriend?"
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And she did the whole, "Oh, Grandpa," and they're all embarrassed and all that. But she's really looking to see how he's receiving that.
Oh, wow. 9. See, I have a 12-year-old.
What are you doing, a boyfriend? You don't go on a date or anything. What are you doing? 9.
I got the 12-year-old Lily is going with me. And I'm already freaking out that she's like looking at boys on the trip.
It doesn't matter.
So I've figured out how to keep her in the hotel, like locked up.
Don't bubble wrap them.
I shouldn't do that.
Don't bubble wrap them. Just keep them out of trouble.
Just pray for me because
I will. Just keep them out of trouble. No, that when my daughter was dating, I literally would be cleaning guns. It just happened that day that I was cleaning guns when the boys came over to pick her up.
I love that.
Well, and it was always fun. And there was actually one young man that came in and says, "Oh my gosh, let me see, is that a desert eagle? Can I touch? Can I have that? Can I pick that up?" And I said, "Sure." Casey never liked the boy after that.
Never.
Well, yeah, she was trying to be a rebel. I think she was trying to bring somebody home that I didn't like.
And that was when Casey was going to the Catholic high school.
Yeah, that's where she went to. Yeah,
she met the.
Oh, these were all good kids.
I mean, it sounded like a nice.
They were good kids. They were. She wanted to be a rebel.
That's great.
So she. Well, she ended up marrying the guy I didn't. I wasn't approving of, really.
Not the guy that liked the gun, right?
No. He was Casey was the captain of the cheerleading squad, and his boy was an all-state football player, an high school football player, and they ended up getting married, but it did not last, unfortunately, and it was too bad. It was really horrible, too bad, and now she's married to a wonderful guy.
I met him.
Yeah, Brad.
Yes.
Buckman, who has got ALS. Yeah. It's serious, and he wasn't even supposed to live till Christmas, but he's still carried on. He's still the dad of the house and still enjoying that house, but he's going through really hard times now. He can't hardly breathe. He can't walk. He can't move. He's bedridden. But it's rough right now.
Yes, it's rough. I'm praying for him.
Yeah, he's having tough times, and the one we need to pray for is my daughter that has to balance this.
How many kids?
6.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 4 Brads and two of Casey's, and it is just wonderful that she's holding it together. But it's and with the help of my ex-wife, who's there helping out too, and Jenny's been going in to help, which is great, and all that. But it's I can't imagine the mental anguish and all that stuff that goes with it, and now my daughter's the breadwinner of the house.
Yeah.
And has to take care of her husband at the same time.
Wow.
It has been rough, but she's holding together better than I would.
I mean, and I didn't have kids, so I don't understand a lot.
You and Lindsey Graham.
Well, yeah, and Lindsay was Air Force, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't go in the service because they didn't have my MOS at the Air Force.
What was your MOS?
Well, I wanted to be basically my brother was intel officer.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be special investigation guy.
And they didn't have anything like that. Well,
no, they had it, but they had no slot opening.
Okay.
And I don't like flying. My brother was in. He said, "Don't go in because it might put you on a."
I wanted to be a pilot, but my eyesight kept me from being a pilot. And my friend who graduated Air Force Academy was a pilot. Name requested me. He said he'd name request me to fly with him as a GIB, a guy in back, a weapons systems officer. I said, man, if I can't run the show, I'm not going.
Yeah, you want to be the general right away, right? You just sign me up for being a general.
Well, no, I would have taken a pilot position, but I didn't want to be the GIB.
But you've flown. You had your license.
Yeah, I own a few airplanes. I don't own any now, but I used to. I've still got a pilot's license.
Yeah, so you can hang out with guys that were like Air Force guys.
Well, yeah, I could. People tell me they're pilot. Me too. I'm a pilot. I flew Cessnas. I don't think that works well.
No,
it doesn't work well. I met a young man yesterday at the church. He was, for the fun day when we're out back and there's some things to eat and all that kind of stuff. A lot of good time. And he wants to go in the military to be a pilot. He wants to be a pilot and all that. I asked him. I said, "Well, can you tell how you know how to tell if there's an F-16 pilot in a bar? Do you know when you walk in the bar and there's F-16 pilot? Do you know how you can know? You know that?" He says, "No." And I said, "They will tell you."
Yeah. I had yes, you're right.
All the pilots say, "Yeah, I'm a pilot."
No, I got you.
Yeah,
I'll tell you a story later. But I had a F-16 fighter pilot, a roommate as a civilian for like 2 days. So
he told you he was a pilot
immediately when
I'm a pilot. Because it's it'll get that going. But I don't think I tell people I'm a Cessna pilot. I don't think they care.
I'm still impressed because I don't know anything about those things.
Yeah. Well, it's just like a car. You put the keys in, you get it going, and you follow the path. The airwaves, though, it's wider than the regular roads. The roads you got to keep very, very close. The roadways in the sky are like 4 miles wide.
I think I stay on the highway on my road trip.
Yeah, do it. Don't go off of the side. Hit the rumble strips. I never did finish up with what Trump wants to do with the retirement plan. With Trump on the retirement plan, he wants to mimic some of the stuff in Australia. At least that's what this is. Just a talk right now. I don't know what's going to happen. Mandatory employer contributions is what Australia does. Mandatory contributions towards a retirement plan, not like a 401k.
Mm-hmm.
Well, right now there's optional. A lot of employees will do a 401k, matching funds and all that. And in Australia, there's a mandatory 12% contribution in Australia that every employer has to put 12% of the pay. Put a 12% addition into a retirement program that they control, that they invest in what they want. It's not like Social Security where it just goes to the government and then they steal your money. This would go in there and you'd be able to invest it.
I thought we get at least 2 to 4%. Don't we get back on Social Security? They give me 4%.
Social Security, there is a percentage. It's not very much, like 2 or 3%. But if you go to any broker, a bad one's going to give you 7.
Yeah,
a good one over 10.
So these guys are giving 12%.
Well, no, 12% is the cash they give you too. You can invest. They give you 12% of your pay additional that just goes into a savings account that you control.
But do they get a better percent than our Social Security?
They can, of course, they can invest it in anything they want.
Oh, good. That's good.
Yeah, well, that would be good. I don't know how the employers force it. And this article suggests, well, we don't start overnight. We start with like a 1% or whatever like that, because it would be a big hit. I don't know. I don't know what the financial implications go. We already as employers, we pay 7% towards Social Security.
Right.
Or 7.5.
It's mandatory, right?
Mandatory.
Yeah.
Right now. So whatever you paid in Social Security, your employers matched.
Yes.
Now you can imagine if you took all that money and invested it in just a standard Dow Jones, thing. Dow Jones averages 10% over the time.
That'd be great. Now,
but Social Security averages like 3.
Yeah. Could we do investments like in pet rocks again?
Whatever you want. You can lose your money in anything you want to do.
I've done that.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you want to do. But the suggestion is that we don't start off that high. We start and we gradually grow and working in. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to come up with at all. But they said they would work. That would work if we made tax credits for small businesses. They maybe pay you more money, but then they get more tax credits. Whatever they come up with, it's all a shell game. But to keep the investment management private, don't create another government-controlled investment fund. Because the government-controlled investment fund sucks at it. None of them get the percentages that a private guy does for free.
Yes, you're right. I agree.
I say free. There's always a charge, but even after the charge, you're going to end up double, triple better than anything the government does because they suck at it.
Well, they do. But didn't Trump put in like that Trump account for the kids being born the last couple of years?
That's a different deal. That's a savings program that just goes to that kid.
That's cool.
Got to start a 401k and all that stuff. He's a big guy that likes investments and all that. And then he says behavioral economics tells us something about psychology, and that is automatic savings works. And I agree. It probably does. I mean, we look at those things. The problem with automatic savings, and the government did a 401k program back in the 80s, if you remember, is when they instituted it. I think, it was the 80s. Because I was working for Napa Corporate at the time, Genuine Parts Company. I was operations manager. And back then I had to train people and on what it was and the advantages and all that kind of stuff. So I was the trainer for Tampa, Florida, to explain it to all the employees in the building. And we had we had one of the highest of people that joined the program because we got matching funds. And back then you could not touch your money except for some extreme, like something. But then little by little, they started adding, well, if you could take it out for a mortgage, it's good. It's okay. Or if you take it out for a college, or if you take it out, and then you could end up taking it out for anything. And then it just destroyed the program because people have no discipline.
Well, you're looking at a guy that is really has a struggle with self-discipline.
Some of that discipline.
Yeah.
No discipline. They'll take it out for a new car. Well, it makes sense. Rather than me pay $400 a month, I'll just take it out for a new car. And they end up destroying their whole retirement program. And then they talk about this one. This would be a 12%. You're in control. You can't touch it, except maybe we should put in about a house. That's always the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It should be no exceptions.
Yeah, and then eventually ends up, I go with the money to Vegas and go home broke.
It goes in with wherever, you know. And then they still don't have retirement, and you have to take care of people. So I would be for like the no exceptions. Like when the first 401k first came out, you couldn't touch that money. That money was yours, but all you could do was watch it grow. You couldn't touch it until you retired.
Okay.
You had to have a certain age. You reached a certain age, you could touch it. Until then, hands off. My fact checker tells me that Trump just reinstated the Iranian blockade. Good.
Oh, is that fact checker Edward out there in the East Coast?
Edward out there, the mystery guy.
No, I've listened to him talk, and apparently he loves vacationing out here occasionally.
He comes out, he goes all over the world occasionally.
Yes.
So he'll be about anywhere, and you never know. But he has come here and gone out in the desert with me. But the Iranian blockade is just means we're blocking their ships. we're not blocking ours. You know, we're
Okay.
not blocking anything else. I would assume that's what it means. It's a Trump blockade of just Iranian ships. And Iran has no interest, from what I think most people have deduced by now, no interest in peace.
Well, they're Mahdi. They have a Mahdi.
What's that?
Well, it's the dude that comes out of the well. That's their like savior compared to Jesus.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they got to do the apocalyptic killing, so they get the Mahdi out of the well. And then when the Mahdi comes out of the well, then it's like, you know, Jesus coming back. Only he comes back, the Mahdi, and makes us all go to Allah. So they're kind of motivated by that, their leadership in that moment.
They're trying to create their own destruction, I guess, by destroying us or whatever. But it looks like, I still think Trump has handled it well. I mean, that we have to try peace. We have to try negotiation. We have to try memorandums. We have to try ceasefires. I respect all that.
They have patience, him and his team, because usually you negotiate and the Iranians say, "That's to America."
Yes, it's hard to discuss that with somebody.
Hard to discuss all that.
Could you back off on Death to America? Maybe do it once a month instead of every hour.
Yes,
you know?
so it's a little tough when you negotiate that way. So they have a lot of patience.
They do that. I think so. Although I have a lot of listeners that call up and say he's naive, he's not paying attention, that he doesn't understand Iranians never going to do this. I think he knows, but I think he still has to go through the steps somewhat.
I think it's wisdom.
Just for the rest of the country, for the politicians, everybody else, for other countries that look at us,
yes,
to know that we're not just flying off the handle, that we gave every opportunity that we could. So I think so. I think Mad Mike's back on the phone. Good morning, Mad Mike.
Morning. Yeah, I am amazed you got someone in there other than listening to Glenn Beck in the afternoons that knows anything about the 12ers and whatnot.
Is that me, Mad Mike?
That would be you.
The
It's
rainbow
not me.
guy. The rainbow guy.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. That is absolutely you, because Russ has never read anything worthwhile about the Iranian prophecies, or might not even be Iranian specific.
No.
How much do you know about that whole thing, the 12ers and the
me none, probably, or very little, but
I'm not talking to you anymore.
Well, okay, well, stop talking to me then. All right.
Now let me talk to the expert.
All right, Mark.
No, that's not me, Mad Mike. My buddy wrote a book. I self-published his book, and part of it has the prophecy, basically with the Mad Mahdi guys versus the Jesus Christ coming back guys, you know. So I give it all my credit to my buddy who wrote the book, and then I studied it 25 years ago.
So where is this book available?
Well, I self-publish it. My buddy went to be Jesus 4 years ago, so I self-publish it. I print it and I give it out. Yeah, you're welcome to give me a call and get a book.
Sure. Russ has my number. He can text me your number and we'll hook up, because, like I said, there's very few people that know anything about their end times prophecy, and the only other of all the podcasts and conservative talk radio I've listened to over the years before K Blue got kicked off the air. You're the first person I've ever heard, other than Glenn Beck, to even bring it up. So I am interested to have some more information about that.
Well, you got the book, no problem. It covers a lot of things, but yeah, we'll get you the book, Mad Mike.
Cool. Thank you for that. All right, I'll get back to delivering this Walmart grocery order.
Take care, buddy.
Go back to listening.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye. Yeah, I'll give you his number. You can text it to him, whatever.
That'll be good.
That is.
I was just thinking, Mad Mahdi, Mad Mike, those guys go together, man.
Maybe they're the same.
I don't know.
I have no idea. But Iran right now is so weird to listen to them. I mean, as much as they've been bombed, as much as they've lost, they're bold, man. These guys are confident. We're going to kill you. We're going to take you out. We're going to attack every country. Because look at all the neighbors they've attacked. All their neighbors, sent missiles their way, and everyone else, and they just talk like, we owned all this stuff. It's been kind of amazing to watch. Unlike Venezuela, now in Venezuela, Trump went in there I say Trump went in there. Department of War went in there
Mhm.
with Trump's orders, and actually took the president and the wife
Mhm.
captive, brought them back to trial. And when they were on a military base, they knew they were coming, and they couldn't stop it.
You're right.
Amazing. And in 2 hours, it was all over with, and the country says, "We'll cooperate."
Yeah, the gal that runs it now.
Yeah, she's a
cooperating.
communist,
Yeah.
but she says, "You know what? I just soon not be woke up in the middle of the night by your military. So whatever you need, we'll do it." Now that doesn't mean they love us, but they're not. But the Iranians, the ideology, it's like kill us if you want, but we'll never comply.
Well, you're dealing with the Western culture, Russian
Yeah.
guys, and I've had to negotiate with them a little bit.
Mhm.
And then you go to the Mad Mahdi's of
Mhm.
their Persians, and Persians are great negotiators, but they have a mindset in that area of the Mahdi, and they're
Yeah.
not going to budge.
No, apparently not. And they have been noted as great negotiators, but they've
Oh, yeah.
never run up against Trump before.
They'll be fun to watch. I mean, I don't make light of this because it's serious stuff.
Yeah. Oh, it is serious stuff. But Trump has been very vocal and very transparent now about some of the negotiations, where they'll go into the negotiations and they'll agree to stuff. And then 1 hour later, they'll attack a ship and say that we never agreed to anything. And I think that's just part of their whole process. Just to lie, confuse until they wear you out and you start agreeing to stuff you didn't want to agree to just to get it stopped and over, maybe.
Study Persian history. You'll find some interesting people in history.
Really?
Yeah.
And are these people really Persian? Because we quite often, I hear that they want to separate the Islamic radicalism from the Persians.
Well,
But I don't know if they're one and the same.
it's a cultural group, the Persians. I'm not saying the
Right.
leaders, but the leaders in Iran are the religious, the political, and the military. They're all working together, the
Right.
leaders. But they all believe basically in the Mahdi coming out of the well.
Maybe.
Apocalypse stuff.
But there's many, according to, other people, that the Persians don't want this revolutionary guard in power, and they don't want war. They want to go back to what it was 47 years ago, where they actually had some more freedoms and women could drive. There were no burqas and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah. Well, there's 90 million people in Iran.
Right. Well, there were. I think some of them got out.
Yeah, some left.
There's probably quite a few left. But they seem to be, when you see the protests in the streets carrying the "Kill Trump" signs, it seems to be no standing room only. There's plenty of them there. I don't know if they're all coerced or they fervently believe that we need to kill Trump.
According to a missionary on the Armenia border with Iran,
Yeah.
the Muslim culture is fed up with this whole oppressive stuff in Iran. So they're coming to Jesus sometimes, and they're wanting freedom. They became secular in their thought process.
But you say coming to Jesus, you mean changing religion?
Yeah, because
Really?
the missionary in the Armenian border
Uh-huh.
works with them,
Uh-huh.
and they come over the border. They have like passports. They can go over to Armenia, and he works with them and leads them to Jesus. And they go back into Iran and they communicate with this guy.
I know there's a lot of factions in Iran that would like to get rid of the Revolutionary Guard.
Yeah.
And when you look at the countries around there, Saudi Arabia, Muslim country, but they don't have the same ideology that we want to destroy everything. They want to invest in business. They want to be prosperous. They want to take care of people, take care of their country.
Yeah.
In fact, they want to diversify now and get involved in other things other than oil trade. Same with United Arab Emirates. I mean, that's a vacation place, a place to go with hotels and opportunities for, having a good time. Same with all these countries around there, except Iran. They're very militant. They, first and foremost, destroy Israel.
Yes. But you mentioned
to America.
You mentioned back in the 70s they had Shah and was
Right.
more westernized.
Well, yeah, I've seen pictures out there, and you would swear it's like California from the looks of the clothing and the cars and stuff. I mean, they were like a Western type look nation, and then it got taken over by the Revolutionary Guard, and everything's a black burqa for women, and you get stoned to death if you don't put it on.
Well, and that's the people I'm understanding this don't really care for that anymore in Iran.
Well, we've seen some of it during this last few months, in that there's been some cities in Iran that have been taken over by the locals, and women were coming out without headgear and all that. And to do that on a normal day is life threatening.
Yes, it is.
You could lose your life over that. And this is a country that just before this conflict started, they killed 40,000 people of their own for protesting.
Yeah, they did.
Just amazing. It's hard to fathom, hard to understand that kind of stuff. And then they complain about the other countries on their, human, type actions and stuff, and actions against humanity and stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, But these people, I don't know if they say anything that you can believe.
The leadership. Yeah.
Can you believe anything they say?
Well, they're negotiating based on, like I said, their theological belief in the Mahdi, and it's going to be death to America, no matter what.
Seems to be. They hate Israel, but I think we're the big Satan, I guess. Whatever. According to a foreign analyst, and Lisa, I don't know her, I can't do her last name. She says they've become more bold. Says Iran's increasingly aggressive rhetoric suggests Iran believes it still has leverage in the conflict, even if she described the regime as being in its weakest point in decades. And they probably are the weakest points. They become more bold at the weakest points. Amazing. They're not going to give it up. I don't know what the outcome's going to be, but Japan was very similar in World War II. They had lost so much. They were confined back to the mainland. Their ships had to be pulled back, everything, which they were traveling around the world, destroying stuff. They had to be pulled back. They had to get back there, and they wouldn't give up. And nuclear bombs are the only thing that got them to give up.
You're right. Yes.
And I don't. This seems to be a similar mentality. We would rather die than give up. And
then that's the leadership and some of the Iranians. I don't know what percentage of 90 million.
Correct. It's all fragmented. But for them, and they're not going to give up their ambition to kill America and Israel. They're not going to give that up, and they're not going to give up.
No, they won't.
It just doesn't seem like that. I applaud Trump for being patient.
And I guess his son-in-law is in the negotiation team.
Yes.
So I applaud the son-in-law.
Yeah, and that's got to be tough. This lady, Lisa, said the rhetoric has not backed down since the beginning of the war. We've seen them become much more bold in their rhetoric, making threats against the president, making friends against Israel and the United States military. U.S. is continuing to send a strong message to what she describes as a controlled escalation. And I think that's exactly right. And I've heard the military types talking about it's controlled escalation. And, what used to be, 50 a day hits, then it's 80, then it's 100. So I thought they'd run out of targets, but apparently it's escalating. It's not just continuing the same. It says it's a nuanced approach to controlled escalation, but at the same time delivering very strong message to Iran regime that we have the appetite to go back to kinetic warfare, and that we have the appetite to strike vital targets again. The president does not want this to become an escalated conflict again, but at the same time, again, the boot has to remain on the neck of the regime. And I think Trump understands all that.
I believe
at least
so.
He has to. He understands all that. I don't, and they know our politics. They know that we're an election year. They know that American president doesn't want to go into November in a conflict because it's going to ruin the chances of keeping the House or keeping that kind of stuff. Honestly, believe Trump would care more about ending the Iranian conflict than keeping the House.
I think he realizes that the leadership in Iran wants a nuclear weapon, death to America, death to Israel. Yeah. And you can't have a bully with a nuclear weapon.
And I know that Obama caved on his negotiations. And some things I didn't realize, and I wasn't paying attention at the time. It was 18 months for Obama in negotiations where he finally caved and just pretty much gave away everything.
Well, he let him keep doing nuclear weapon research.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave him like cash, like in pallets.
Pallets of cash and all that kind of stuff. And so did Biden. Biden gave him pallets, more money than that for hostages. And then said it wasn't for the hostages. It was just a coincidence that they released hostages.
Yes, that's right.
At the same time, the cash was going through.
Now, Wouldn't it be interesting if we had Joe as president trying to negotiate this?
Joe Biden?
Or
He doesn't even, I don't
or-
think. Wait, that was the auto pen that would be negotiating. I don't know what would happen, but it wouldn't be this.
No, I'm very grateful we have Donald Trump and his
Yes.
brother, son-in-law Kushner.
Yeah.
Negotiating.
Right. But I don't know how long it's going to go on. I'd like to think that it would end before the election, but I don't know. And I don't think it's as important as it ends.
Yeah. And you think there's a psychological thing going on with people in America? We're kind of weary of the war?
Of course. I mean, that's just America. We were weary of Vietnam. We're weary of Afghanistan. We're weary of all of it. And the forever wars are never supposed to happen. And Trump campaigned for no forever wars.
Right.
And I think he means to keep it up. I do. And as he's pointed out, we've been at war with him for 47 years. We just made it public.
Right. Yeah.
And he wants it to end, no question. But he's not going to be bullied or threatened and think, well, I won't end it because I know I've got an advantage, and you're going to give me more than you want to, just because you want to get elected. You want to control the election. I believe he'll let that election go. He'll do what's good for the country. That's his number one thing.
For the safety of Americans.
Safety of Americans, number one.
But even that perception, though, might grate on the American people, their psyche.
American people are funny. And the politicians know what buttons to push and what levers to pull, mm-hmm. and what rhetoric to say. And right now we have a big wave of Democrats that have turned socialist, communist, and they're having success as far as at the polls. Not success in running cities, but success at getting elections. Mandani just very successfully had 3 people that he endorsed that won, mm-hmm. that are very much, if I can find it here, but very much communist. And their rhetoric and what they want to do is scary. But I think it also may be their downfall, because the Democrat socialists who have taken over the Democrat Party, at least visibly, have taken over. I don't know if they own everything, and there's some infighting in the Democrat Party, which I don't think is very transparent, or people notice. But right now, Mandani and his company, that with the Democratic Socialists, have kicked out Ocasio-Cortez from favorable status. They don't want her anymore. She's not radical enough.
But she's a great actress.
I think she's great at social media and stuff, and she's good in front of the camera and all that. Mm-hmm. But I don't think I'd want her to run anything. She's but they're downplaying. They're saying we're a big tent now, and they're trying to downplay the breakaway of the Democrat Socialists. And they're putting together their own platform. Now that's a definite breakaway. When the party has a platform and you say, well, we're the DSA, Democrat mm-hmm. Socialists of America, and we have our own platform.
And within the Democrat platform.
Yeah, but it's not aligned with the Democrat platform. It doesn't share the same ideals. Right now, their Democratic platform, for the socialist side, they want the elimination of the U.S. Senate.
Oh, the Democrat Socialists.
The Democrat Socialists say, that's part of their platform, is to get rid of it. Constitutionally, take it out. We don't need a Senate. And also take out the Department of Defense. We don't need a Department of Defense, which is one thing the original Constitution was an important part, is about the defense of the country. They don't think we need it.
I remember reading that in the Revolution.
There you go. Yeah, we needed that. Now, they want to get rid of the executive branch. We don't need a president at all. And they would advocate for Congress to choose an executive branch. Vote one in, like other countries do with prime ministers or something like that. Say, the Congress gets together and they vote they vote. The people don't vote. They would vote in an executive branch. And the Supreme Court goes away, and they have their own judiciary
that they control. The Democrat Socialist
Party
platform
of Democrat Party of America.
Okay,
it's their platform. Now they're within the Democrat Party.
So like Fetterman, that senator from Pennsylvania,
He's not part of that.
I didn't sound.
No, he's not part of that. He's a lot more conservative, although he's a Democrat, but more mainstream Democrat, I think. I don't know. Maybe he's a far right Democrat. I don't know how they would classify him. I'd let them do that. They also have in there the full amnesty for all illegal aliens, all of them. All deportations to end, 0 deportations, and 0 restrictions for travel between countries. Anybody can travel here without visas. And full voting rights for all non-citizens. And they think this is all a good idea. They think it's great. We'll get that in there. I think that may work against them a little bit. I don't think even the far left Democrats will want to pile all that onto their platform.
I go back to Fetterman. I listen a little bit to him. He seems to make sense in some areas. I don't think he's going for that platform.
No, but that just means there's conflict within the party.
Yeah.
Now, these new people that are running for Congress out of New York that Mandani helped win, Daraliza. It sounds like Godzilla, but Daraliza Chevalier. She's gonna be the 13th congressional district because she's already gotten the primary, but no real adversary in the Republican side. It's a heavy Democrat. She's advocating for the abolition of borders. She agrees with that. The abolition of police. We don't need police.
Okay.
And abolishment of prisons.
Well, that's going to work out good for New York.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it would be complete chaos pretty immediately. I mean, that wouldn't take a week or two to really set in that we've destroyed ourselves.
There was a movie about that with Kurt Russell years ago about the destruction of Detroit. I mean, of New York.
New York. Yeah. Escape New York.
Yeah. It will end up like that quickly.
Well, New York got walled off and it was kind of like a place you'd send prisoners.
Yeah.
She also posted, bad word, F Kamala Harris. She doesn't think Kamala Harris is radical left enough, which I agree. She's just a giggly drunk.
Well, she's not the sharpest gal in the block.
No, she's not. And they continue to put her in front of a microphone, which is fun, but terrible. And she also has deep disdain for the Democrat Party leadership. And she just won as a Democrat to be the new congressman in the 13th congressional district in New York. Great. Claire Valdez also won the primary in the 7th congressional district. She's for demilitarizing the border, I guess. That means getting rid of ICE. Amnesty for all illegals. Ramping up the new Green Deal. That works out so well. Malat Kairos running for Colorado's 1st congressional district, also supported by Mandani. He reaches across the borders. She wants to abolish ICE. She's anti-Israel, and despite recent victories by the DSA, some centrists think Democrats have formed an alliance to push back, and some Democrats want to push back against this alliance now, this Democratic Socialist. So they say they're one big tent and all that, but there's a real struggle going on with their party.
Yeah.
And Mandani's kind of like the main visible focal point. I mean, he seems to be the leader of it, although I don't think he's taken the title, but I think he's the highest ranking communist in the Democrat Party.
And his wife, during 4th of July weekend, she took a vacation, and she went to a Muslim spiritual retreat, some island off of Spain.
Right. She wanted nothing to do. In fact, Mandani canceled, I think, 4th of July celebrations. He's been getting himself in some trouble, but he certainly doesn't look like he never gets on stage and apologizes. He just moves forward and says everything's great, but he just insulted all the Italians, which make up a big portion.
In Little Italy.
New York's heritage is Italian, a lot of it. And he did some map that pointed out all the little Haiti, little everything in there that shows all the diversity that they've got. He's very proud of it. He's got the map out there. Little Italy was not included and all that.
You know, he should listen. Chicago has Little Italy, the mob ran.
Yeah.
And I lived in a mob neighborhood. He should listen to the Italians in New York, because things do not go well if you get messed up the Italians.
Well, it was funny. There's just been the man in the street interviews of all the Italians. I've loved some of the Italians in New York, and they're like the stuff you would expect them. They have the brogue you'd expect, and then hey, forget about it. It's just they're that guys. They're that really that people.
Yeah,
and they don't like Mandani. They don't like him.
And he probably doesn't even go down to Little Italy for pizza.
It's not part of his city.
No.
As far as he's concerned.
It's going to really be bad for him if he takes off the Italians.
That's where the mobs are.
In New York, they have a few.
I don't know if they're real active anymore, if they really do the John Gotti stuff or the horse hit in your bed. I don't know if they do all that stuff. But these are serious guys. They're going to push back.
Yeah, they're not shy.
No, I wouldn't make them mad. I wouldn't intentionally make them mad.
No.
But Mandani seems to be stepping on a lot of toes, and he just doesn't care. And then he lies about it, and he's okay. He said, well, that map was made by the prior administration. Maybe it was started by them. I guarantee you it didn't get out without his finishing touches.
You're right. Yeah.
And that bit about inviting the foreign minister of Iran to a meeting that Marco Rubio found out about and said, no, we're not doing that. And he came out and said, that was a mistake on his foreign relations department. He had no knowledge of it, which is horrible. Okay, I'm the mayor that has a department on foreign relations. I mean, I have not called Doug Nichols here, our mayor, to see what our foreign relations department's doing.
We should call Doug.
He doesn't have one.
Okay, good. Okay. He doesn't have. He's rerunning.
Why would they have that?
He's rerunning. We got.
He is running. He's the only one listed on the ballot. Good. There are a couple people that have jumped in to do a write-in candidacy. And the one most aggressive has been Carlos. I forget Carlos's last name. He's very aggressive to do a write-in, but a write-in is very tough, but don't take it for granted. Please go vote for Doug.
I do like Doug.
Yeah. And Carlos, I've sat and talked to him for a couple hours. Smart guy. He's got a lot of business concerns going on in Mexico and in China and stuff. He's all over the place. I don't really know why he wants to run for mayor. He really doesn't. I mean, I think he lives here, but he never voted before. He never registered to vote until he found out he had to be registered to be mayor.
How old is Carlos?
He's got to be in his 40s. Younger guy.
Yeah.
30s, maybe late 30s, maybe 40s. Boxer, 47 fights, but now he has like a lot of boxers work for him. He runs businesses with boxing in Mexico. It's all Mexico. It's nothing here. Wow. He has plants in Mexico to make socks and stuff. He's got textile industry.
Wow.
He walks around Yuma talking to everybody with a bodyguard.
Really?
Yeah, he's got a bodyguard.
But he's a boxer.
Yeah, he doesn't box anymore, but he was. He didn't want to get brain scrambled, so he stopped. But he just hires people to box. He's a promoter, and he promotes people. They work for him.
Is he a fan of Rocky from Philadelphia?
I have no idea. I didn't ask him, but I could.
Yeah.
But and I invited him to come on the show. I mean, he's an interesting guy. I'm not in favor of him. I have no idea why because he doesn't have any idea why he wants to be mayor. He just started pointing out how horrible Doug is.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm laughing because I want solutions to the city of Yuma.
Me too. I want solutions for any problems, but first you have to identify a problem.
Yeah.
Well, he starts saying things like, well, we need to start getting more involved in the economy of Yuma. I mean, our city does, and different, and we are involved in all of them. We have people that are on the Chamber of Commerce board. He said we need to be more involved in Chamber of Commerce. We have people on the board of Chamber of Commerce, city council people, and on the economic development. He says, yeah, we need to get more involved in economic development and get our city involved in it. Oh my gosh, they do that? That is a normal deal. I mean, nothing happens, probably anything big, without the mayor on the phone. He's involved in all of it, but he has this image that we're not doing anything and nothing's happening because he's never stopped to look what the city does, and yet he wants to run it. I don't think he knows what the city does. at all. He just wants to run it. I really don't understand it. And he's put a ton of money into it, and he's got a lot of backing. He's running around with a bodyguard, and he wants to run the city. I think he'd be another Mandani.
Yeah, well, all I know is he's probably been hit a few times as a boxer.
He has been, but he doesn't look like his brain scrambled. He looks like he's cognitively all there, and which is making him more scary. I think he presents himself pretty well. His speaking can do it. In fact, I talked to him about some of the speaking. He needs to get some help. But in fact, I gave him a few pointers, and he's using them. And people got mad at me. They said, "Why are you helping him?" I just help people, but I gave him some pointers on public speaking. But he's a long way from refined. I mean, he needs a lot of help. I mean, I saw the debate he did and all that. He just wasn't prepared for any of that. And he's not prepared to be mayor. But yet he's thrown so much money in it. The money may make him a real threat.
Oh, I've talked to Doug a couple times. You know, I ran into him at one of those marketplaces at the mall. You know, where you do all the vegetable markets.
Okay, yeah, farmers market.
Yeah, it was fun. He was walking around. We had a nice talk. That's the first time I ever talked to him.
He's approachable and agreeable. He's done a lot. He's done a lot for the city, and he gets behind these projects. I don't know how Carlos can think he doesn't. And he's behind the spaceport. Now, Doug has talked very positively, and I brought him on here to talk about the spaceport because some people have had real concerns and legitimate questions, legitimate concerns. And he answered them all. And one of the concerns was, why would we spend money on that? Well, we wouldn't spend money on that. That would be a private enterprise and all that. We're promoting and embracing the opportunity. So we don't have anybody in mind. We're putting it out there to people that we're open for that. Well, you already have Carlos saying, it'd be too much money and we don't need to spend it. I'm like, you're just not listening.
No, I just heard you tell me that the city's not spending money on the spaceport.
Right.
But Carlos,
he doesn't hear it.
He doesn't hear that.
Well, and Henry's doing the same thing. He's running for city council, and he says, we don't need to spend money on the spaceport. Correct. We don't.
Because we're not.
We're not. Yes, you're right. You're right. We don't. But it's like somebody running around saying, I have a way of getting rid of all the elephants. Well, they're not here. Well, see, it's working.
Yeah, that's it.
It's working. But I think our mayor works a lot different than the New York City mayor. Mayors are different based on charters.
I'd rather have Doug than Mandami.
Yes, I would. And not that we haven't had perfect mayors in the past, and not that Doug's perfect, but we've had some that were destructive a little bit. But the way our city's worked up, at the end of the day, the mayor's basically one vote for the city council. It doesn't have executive powers.
Right.
As such. The executive powers belong to the administrator. The administrator has that going on. The administrator answers to the mayor and council, not just to the mayor. Right. Mayor and council. So there's some buffer if you get somebody in there that's rogue, a Mandani type stuff, that's going to do things.
Now I know Mandami probably is Muslim communist, probably.
He's been accused of that,
and I don't think that's going to go well for the New Yorkers that are, not for the Muslim Mahdi type of thing.
Right, but amazingly, and there's a big Jewish population in New York, but that Jewish population is primarily Democrat, and has been, but yet the Democrats have not been the ones that are necessarily, big supporters of the Jewish population or Israel. It's been more the Republicans, but for some phenomena, it continues on.
That's a very interesting way of looking at it. Because I grew up in the Jewish population also, besides the Italian mob, because we had a Jewish business partner in my dad's business. And so I really admire, and I don't know how they voted in Chicago, the Jewish people in the 60s.
Don't know.
I have no idea.
But I know primarily the Jews Jewish population in the United States have been primarily Democrat, just like Hispanic, primarily Democrat, particularly in this community, even though the values of most of our Hispanic culture is more aligned with Republicans.
If you go line by line with values,
you're
I think your perception's right with the Spanish population.
Right. And I'm surprised the Spanish population didn't leave the Democrats in droves when they came out with the Latinx thing. They found that very offensive.
Yeah, even worse. I mean,
Yeah.
Latinx was offensive.
It was very offensive. And, the Spanish language is, male and female,
Yes.
changes. They want to do away with all that. The Democrats, just go with the Latinx thing. And I don't think they tested that one very well.
No, they should have talked to Melba before that.
Yeah, Melba, but she's a Republican. You can't talk to Republicans.
They're not going over there to talk to Melba.
I don't think so. I don't think they will. Melba needs to be talked to. She's a wonderful leader, wonderful lady.
Oh, I love joking with her.
Yeah. Secret Service is responding to Iranians' assassination plot. Did you know they have an assassination plot on Trump? And I found out through the I think it was the Israelis intelligence found out, but they were going to do something to the Air Force One, the new plane, the big beautiful.
Yeah, the big beautiful.
Big beautiful red, white, and blue.
That was in Turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why he ended up flying home on a different plane. The older one, it was built ground up as Air Force One and had probably some defensive capabilities and some other stuff in it that the new one may lack. We don't know. So they flew the blue one home with the windows shut and all that. But the threat was real.
Yeah. Yeah. And wouldn't you could qualify being probably a pilot for the big blue thing?
I could qualify being a pilot on a Cessna. I don't think I have that class. Once you get past small airplanes, you've got to qualify for some specific planes, and that one wouldn't be a handful. I mean, the theories all do the same. Go faster and get lift, and slow down to lose lift. That kind of stuff. But there's some complexities that I probably would be a little lost.
Yeah, but you could call your fact checker. I think he could hook you up with getting into the pilot seat there.
On that, no. Well, yeah, years of training, but there's something else that would stop me. And commercial pilots at that level have an age limit.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Sully Sullivan, the one that saved those people.
Yeah.
He had to quit flying because he reached, I think it was 65.
Oh my gosh.
You can't be a commercial airplane pilot at that age. I mean, you can still fly planes, but you're not going to be a commercial airline pilot.
Yeah.
You can fly in 90s. It doesn't matter, fly, but don't put a bunch of other people in the seats next to you. Just go out by yourself. But the thing is real. And then Israel took credit. I mean, Iran took credit for Lindsey Graham's passing, which not true according to doctors. But what are you going to believe?
Right.
What are you going to believe? But they're taking it all serious, and the Secret Service is taking it serious. They're taking extra looks at everything, and that's good at all, because I believe the anger. I believe that they're spooling it up, and I believe all that. And I think our Democrats spool it up against Trump, and there's been 3 attempted assassinations in this country, and I look directly at the Democrats as being responsible for spooling up some of the crazies.
They're talking like sometimes very mob-oriented people, like they're going to whack you.
Well, the Democrats are saying he's a Nazi. He has no, he's corrupt. He needs to be he needs to get rid. 86 or 87. Is it 86, 47?
Yes, on the same.
That kind of stuff, and they just constantly do that. And I think the crazies will take them. Take an opportunity. Well, I'll be a hero to do it then. So it's. And they don't come out with any kind of condemnation of attempted assassinations and stuff like they should. And I'm talking about individuals in the Democratic Party.
The leadership,
they don't.
I wonder what the average Democrat person thinks about the whole assassination stuff.
Well, unfortunately, when they do interviews on that, there's a high percentage that think assassination would be acceptable.
Because we have the image of Hitler?
I don't know. But I think overall, just the hatred and the stuff that's been going on. There's many that have found it acceptable. And I don't remember the numbers, but it was like in the 30 percentile or something of the younger. I'm like, what have we done to our youth where that starts to become acceptable? But there's been there's been, leaders in other industries, like, entertainment industries and actors and stuff like that, that have wished that the people in Pennsylvania were more successful in assassinating Trump, and that's just unacceptable at any level.
Well, anything assassination toward anybody's
Correct.
unacceptable.
Absolutely.
Because
correct.
just
I believe
ask our founding fathers and past that with what happened with Lincoln.
Yeah. Right.
And
and there's, and you start accepting those ways of life. I guess we'd be like some of these countries where politicians die in droves, and they do in Mexico.
Oh yeah.
Google sometime how many political candidates were killed last year in Mexico, and you'll be surprised. You'll be like 100 or something.
Yeah.
It's just not acceptable. And in this country, we're outraged, when we have one shot, and there's been a few politicians shot in the last decade that have been shot and not died. One in Tucson.
Yeah.
But
Gabby.
Yeah. Shot. And those are all unacceptable. I don't care if
No.
you're Democrat, Republican,
Right.
or independent, or what it is. Those things need to be condemned, and we're not condemning it like we used to.
We probably have to get back to the Constitution of values, virtues that were set up: life, liberty, pursuit of happiness.
Well, and a lot of the founding fathers thought that without a strong religion background and a Christian background, that the Constitution won't work.
Right. They said we must basically practice the golden rule with each other.
And I told you this off air, but I tell you, a lot of people call and say, well, a lot of the founding fathers were atheists and deists, and that's not true. What you say a lot. Franklin was famously a deist. He also famously, at the Continental Congress, stood up and told everybody that unless we start with prayer every day, we're not going to get through this. And they've had prayer every day in Congress ever since. Continental Congress, our Congress, ever since prayer to start their meetings, because without the religion background and the morality that goes along with it, our republic won't stand.
And when we have been founded that way, we even look back to George Washington. We saw the movie Young Washington, great movie.
Oh gosh, yes.
And his mother actually,
Young Washington.
Yeah, Young Washington. Yeah. His mother actually told him before he went off to fight there in the French Indian War, trust God and pray. And he said, yes, mother, I do that.
Right.
So
it was in the fabric of things, even though they understood the early on, the framers, that we don't want a government run religion. It's independent.
Yes.
But we want freedom of religion.
Yes.
And I know many on the left want to interpret that as freedom from religion. No, it's no freedom from religion. It's freedom of religion, to practice a religion in your own way, any way you want. Whether you're a deist like Ben Franklin, an atheist, or Christian or Jew or whatever, it didn't matter. It's but they needed that background. Or you could have an authoritarian regime like Iran, where they keep it under control, not because of morality, but because they'll kill everybody that protests.
Yes. So I want to stay back to the Constitution of our founding fathers.
Right.
And go back to the examples of Ben Franklin, George Washington. Pray, trust God, and do the golden rule with our neighbors.
Well, and that's what keeps the republic going.
Because we become good neighbors then.
Is that what they are? I think we could all still use some work where none of us are perfect at it.
Oh, no, ask my neighbors.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah, they know real well.
They understand.
They understand real well.
Well, we're all a work in progress. There's no question. But since we brought up religion, I just want to mention this, that the liberals are panicking right now over Bibles. Apparently, Texas and the Texas State Board of Education has approved a kindergarten through 12 language arts curriculum standard. And within that standard, it includes specific Bible stories and verses as required reading.
Okay.
And the liberals are going really nuts over this. Start talking about separation of church and state and all that. Now, which doesn't really exist. There was no wordage or verbiage of separation of church and state
in the Constitution.
Oh gosh, no. There was a private letter. I forget who wrote it. Was it Jefferson?
Jefferson to Danbury Baptist Church.
Okay. That trying to explain some separation that was created or something with Second Amendment separation, meaning that we won't have a religion, a state religion, or a country religion, or anything like that, and that's been interpreted as that means that you can't have any religion inside. Of course, we started with prayer at our Congress, thanks to Ben Franklin, and we have it to this day.
Yes,
at the beginning of sessions. Well, they're trying to turn it back here. And Glenn Beck did a great job of going through it. They think it's this violates the separation of church and state, violates religious faith. It's religious favoritism, which really what the Board of Education wants to do is make sure that there is an understanding of the Bible, an understanding of some of it. They're not teaching, they're not preaching, they're not asking for converts. They want to make sure that we understand the literary parts of the Bible because it is the most referenced text in literature in the world.
Yes.
There's not too many things you can do or read without running into some Bible references. And for that reason, it needs to be. And the first Bible printed in America, and I think I saw this in that special with Ben Franklin and George Whitefield. The first Bible that was printed in the United States in English was after we separated ourselves from England, because England wouldn't allow us to print an English Bible because they controlled all the religion. They controlled all that. And the first one that was printed was specifically for schools, because Bibles have always been used to understand the English language and to study, and as a study, they used Bibles quite often in all the schools. And I think that history's been forgotten.
Go back to the movie. Was it Young Washington? His mentor was his family member who took care of him when his dad died.
That was his brother.
Yeah. And
was his brother or uncle? One of them.
But remember, he got into the library and started offering young Washington books.
Right. Oh, his mentor. That was, his mentor. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also Washington's mother used the Bible. People were versed in the Bible.
But that was common.
It was common.
It was very common, and it was very much used just to study literature and to study and to understand the English language. But it was never controversial. I guess in modern times, it's been controversial, and that was during a time when they said there's not not going to be a state religion or anything. But it was still Bible in the schools.
Oh yes.
It didn't say you had to be Christian or Catholic or Jewish, but there was a Bible.
It was classical literature teaching.
Yes.
And Bible was used along with Plato and all the other guys.
Children learned to read the Bible. They learned character from the Bible. That was normal. It happened in the 1960s. Was a radical break, and then in the 1960s when that was. And Texas, and this is from Glenn Beck, is right to require Bible readings because students cannot understand Western civilization, including its most cherished literature, without it. Removing the Bible, half of Shakespeare goes dark. Try reading Milton's Paradise Lost. Try reading Dante's Divine Comedy. You cannot understand Pilgrim's Progress, Moby Dick, The Scarlet Letter, Stravinsky's novel of Sin and Redemption, any of it.
Now, can I ask you, all those you just read off?
Yeah.
How many have you read?
2.
I think I got 1.
Okay. From Michelangelo's The Creation of Adam, Da Vinci's Last Supper, European cathedrals, all the great concertos and sonatas, symphonies of Bach, Beethoven, the Bible is preeminent in the Western greatest artistic achievements. And yes, they have been. And I think the left would like to cancel everything that we just read off.
Well, because they have to eradicate history. Because if we don't know where we came from, we won't know where we're going.
Correct. The 10 Commandments are woven into the Western legal codes. You don't understand the Declaration of Independence if you don't understand the Bible. You don't understand the abolition movement in Britain and America. Lincoln, the second inaugural address, which is wonderful, by the way. The Lincoln's second inaugural address addresses the Civil War. Obviously, it just ended, and the horribleness of it, and that both sides prayed to God.
Yes.
Both sides.
Yes.
And God punished us for, I mean, it's paraphrasing, but basically every drop of blood that was spilled in slavery was equal to the drop of bloods on the battlefield.
Is Glenn? That's what Glenn wrote.
No, that's what Lincoln wrote.
That's what Lincoln wrote. Okay.
In the second inaugural address. You need to read that. It's really beautifully done.
I'm going to Lincoln, the town of Lincoln, where he practiced law with my granddaughter
in Illinois.
Yeah, and I'm going to read all this stuff before I get there, so I sound really smart to her.
Yeah, do it. And if you go to the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, the inaugural address is carved into the wall. And I've visited there a few times with people, and they asked me to read it out loud, which I will. I'm not. It's tough because it's not a way I'm used to reading. I would have to practice that a little bit.
Wow.
The language is a little different, but it's beautifully done. I like it. But trying to understand Western civilization, the art, the literature, the music, its laws, its ethics, the very language without the Bible is trying to understand the Middle East without the Quran. It is the foundational text. Remove it, the culture becomes incoherent. I agree with Beck.
I agree.
Yeah. The morals drift, the art loses meaning, the law loses anchor, and most importantly, and don't the progressives know it, the people lose their story. That's what's been happening for 60 years in American education.
Yes. Can I interject the history of America for a minute?
Absolutely.
This is all set up by Glenn Beck's foundation along with Prager University.
America 250 Freedom Truck.
Yes, the truck's going all around America this year,
and it's got Trump driving it and Washington in the passenger seat.
Well, on the picture they do. I'm not sure if Trump's actually driving one of the 6 trucks. But
okay.
They're going all around America as we speak. They'll be in Phoenix in October for the whole month.
Are you going?
I'm going to try to get to the truck. It's history.
All right. Let's talk to Carl real quick. Hey, Carl.
Hey, Carl.
Hey, good morning. I can't remember your guest's name, but he's doing a good job today. So
Sparky.
Mark, yeah. But anyway, I see him around Yuma quite a bit.
Yeah.
He's always a good person to be around. So
yeah, he dresses like Uncle Sam quite a bit. But his real name's Mark. We'll go with that.
Yeah, well, Mark's a good patriot, like a lot of us. So, but anyway, I'm going to throw my 2 cents in today.
Yeah.
Doug Nick, you were talking about my favorite mayor, Doug Nichols.
Yes.
For a little bit.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just wanted to let people know and invite him down. If anybody has any questions for him or would like to meet the fine gentleman, he's going to be our guest at the Colorado River Tea Party meeting this Thursday at the Community Christian Church.
Okay.
And the address is on the 6480 US 95. So, and myself, I support Mayor Nichols as much as possible because I love the way he makes our city such a nice city to live in. So, that's all I can say about the man. And anyway, talking about airplanes, my last airplane I had was a Blanca Viking. It was a real fun airplane to fly. But when the fuel went in the 80s went so high, I couldn't afford to do it anymore.
I wish you'd get it back. I'd like to go for a ride.
Oh, you know what? It'd be an awesome, but I think that's way above my pay grade now.
Right.
So what I do is I just help people running for office put their campaign signs up. That works good for me. So, but anyway, like I said, I like the people come down and meet our great mayor. He does a good job for Yuma, and I'd like to see him do it for a few more years. So,
and what time, Carl? What time is that again this Thursday?
Well, the doors open about 5:30.
Okay.
And the meeting starts at 6. And I'm just inviting everybody from you. I'd like to come down and meet a couple great people. Mayor's one of them. I guess I'd be the other one. Huh?
Yeah, you'd be the other one. Absolutely.
And you'll
be the other one.
And Sally will be there too, I hope, huh?
Oh, definitely. I don't go many places without that lady. We've been married so long, about 63 years now.
Yeah.
We don't get apart too much. We just enjoy each other's company. So,
hey, are you going to ever bring out the trolley again? I love that.
Well, yes, we're going to be bringing, because Bill keeps asking me the same thing, but right now it's too hot for us old people up on 24th and 4th. But when you get closer to the general, we'll be bringing it out some more.
Well, that'll be great. That's where I first met you and
Yes.
your lovely bride.
Yeah. So my bride for 63 years. And people say, well, how can you be married so long? I said, well, I trained her very well. And she says, yeah, just one day at a time. So it works good. So.
You keep that attitude, I don't think that marriage is going to last.
Well, it lasted a long time so far, but anyway, Mike, it was nice. You're doing a good job on the radio, helping Russ out today. So.
Russ needs help. There's no question.
No, I appreciate that. Thanks, Carl. I appreciate Russ letting me sit here. We're going to go back into the Mount Rushmore road trip of stories, or going to Washington, D.C. road trip.
Well, I really can't wait for Derek, helping him get the KBLU station back in Yuma, because that station did a lot of good for the people in Yuma. Just keep knowing what's going on. So
it's going to happen this year, buddy. I feel it. No guarantees yet. I mean, but I'll be happy when that signal turns on.
Yes. Well, I'm kind of happy that you're getting a lot of help doing it too.
Yeah. Oh, Derek's been great at it. It's been good.
And it's from what I'm going to say, I bet it's going to be kind of expensive to do. So.
Oh, it's like buying another mortgage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Y'all have a very good day.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
See everybody Thursday, 6 o'clock. Bye.
All right, buddy. Bye-bye. Yeah, I'm flipping through this book, America 250. It's interesting. I'm going to have to buy one. But Mount Rushmore, it doesn't have Trump on it.
Not yet.
It's been hilarious. There's been all those AI things out there and Trump has been responsible for some of them, where he puts his own picture up, his own face on Mount Rushmore, and it just makes the left go nuts. I think they'd blow it up.
This is the whole thing about the radical left. They don't know how to joke. And I've been among them for years. I do comedy, so entertainment. I go in and out. They just don't know how to have any fun anymore.
The Democrats, no, they don't.
So Trump's got them. They're living rent free. He's living rent free in the radical left, the left's minds. They've lost their sense of humor.
Oh yeah, they're angry. They're mean, and if you read any surveys or you take a look at a lot of the studies that they've done about mental health and stuff.
Yeah.
And if you look at the mental health crisis in the Democrat side versus the Republican side, total night and day.
Yeah.
These people are driving themselves crazy.
Yeah, they are.
It's insane. Have you been to Mount Rushmore?
No, I have that on my list to go to see it with my beautiful bride.
Yeah.
I have relatives in South Dakota. So they might let me stay at the house for free, because I'm kind of broke after this next road trip. Yeah.
Well, that's what you need to do is call ahead of time, let them know you're coming to see you, and we can't wait to see you. Mind if I spend a couple nights,
and
get that done.
Can you give me some food?
I would do that.
I'd do that.
I'm my grandmother's maiden name was Elshire. Now Elshire is a name that was given to a Persian guy that got here in the 1700s, well before we were a country, and they changed it to Elshire. He's from Persia. I mean, not Persia. He was from Germany. His name was Elshite.
Okay.
So he was the only Elshire. I mean, the only one. So I'm related to every one of them. And I know at times when we would go cross country, we'd go stay at some Elshires places.
You would call?
I guess my parents knew a lot of Elshires. I used to go to the Elshire family gatherings and stuff. It's a very famous name in Virginia. And, they have the Elshire type websites and stuff of history and following and all that, because, they were there at the founding and all that. But, he's been told I'm related to every Elshire in the phone book. So just go stay at Elshire's house.
On the road trips?
I've never done it. No, they've done it. I've never done it.
But
have they done it? Yeah. Yeah. While I was a kid. Yeah.
When you were in the back of the car.
Yeah, we'd see the Elshires occasionally. Some Elshires. I didn't know them, but it was quite a clan, Elshires.
This is a great idea for me. I could call the Elshires and
Yeah, tell them you're one.
I'm one of them.
Yeah. You'd be really hard sitting down talking about the history.
I just make it up as I go.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're going to bring out the family trees. Where do you fit in on this thing? You know?
Well, I was with Russ.
Yeah, I was a friend of Russ.
I was with Russ in his house, so it works.
Yeah, it was Dorothy Elshire. Yeah, Mount Rushmore. I remember seeing it when it was one of those road trips where we took, we got out of the car, looked at it, and said, okay, you seen it, get back in the car.
with the Elshires?
Elshires. No, it was just my family. I don't know if we were doing that. But my fact checker says the Democratic Socialists of America has updated their political profile to include the replacement of the U.S. Constitution with one that pulls more towards the former USSR Constitution. I didn't know exactly where it pulled for, but I read a lot of the stuff they want to do. Certainly doesn't sound like anything the founding fathers had envisioned at all. They want to change it completely.
My brother from another mother, he was an intel officer, Air Force, wrote 4 books, went to Russia, did a lot of stuff, warned me in 1969 about communism. I wasn't listening.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So he would go in and out of different countries. And he warned me about communism in 1969.
Okay.
But I never foresaw that I would be listening to the communists so blatantly talking now.
Did you find a lot of your time spent not listening in your formative years?
I still, what'd you tell me just now?
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
I kind of understood.
Okay.
Let me see. Edward just sent me an article of a guy that's jailed for life for killing a burglar in the U.S. He says, is the U.S. heading in this direction? Oh, okay. It wasn't. Hopefully that wasn't in the United States. No, it was in the BBC. Okay. Killing a burglar who shot burglar was stealing from him, trying to steal from his cannabis farm.
In the BBC?
I think that's where it was. Yeah.
In England.
Yeah. He's been jailed for life with a minimum of 27 years. He had a sawed-off shotgun to kill Connor Beatty, 26, after 2 accomplices tried to break into Foster's property on Barnsley Road in Hemsworth last September. Wow. I hope that's not where we're headed. Edward thinks we are, or could be.
Well, if we stay with the golden rule, the Constitution, maybe we won't end up with some guy shooting us with a shotgun because of cannabis.
Well, I try not to break into cannabis farms.
Yeah,
you would think they're
right.
They're well protected.
You would think, and they're popped up everywhere.
I wonder if is cannabis legal in England, like it is in the United States?
I lived in Oxford with my Air Force, brother. I was civilian in 1980, 81. Margaret Thatcher was the iron woman there.
Yes, she was.
There was no cannabis farms in 1981.
Well, there wasn't in the United States probably either, at least legal ones.
I can't comment on that.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to share everything about your life. It's fine.
But I hope you like the 250th anniversary.
I want to get a copy of that. I think that's a collectible. That's nice. And if he's in Phoenix, I'd like to.
The whole museum's coming to Phoenix in October.
I'd like to go see it.
It's going to be fantastic. We'll do a road trip.
It'll probably be protest by the liberals. They did a lot of protests. They boycotted a lot of the stuff that was going on in Washington. They complained that Trump was, gosh, there was newscasters. They were crying that he did terrible things to the Washington and he commercialized it or something. And the fireworks display was terrible because it was too big. Well, what's too big?
I don't know.
I don't know.
All I know is I get to go on a road trip with my granddaughter to meet relatives.
Well, you should.
And no, I'm going to show them this and get the reaction. When they get a picture of the 250th anniversary museums with Trump driving,
I'm
going to see where they're coming from.
I'd like to see him in the truck. So, he would do it. I mean, he's driven a garbage truck and he worked a McDonald's drive-through, so he'll do about anything.
He should. I hope they have him in a truck.
Yeah, he should. American marriage crisis. Did you know there was one?
I'm doing for 2 years the best ever in marriage. I've not been good at marriage. This is the greatest 2 years of my life. I'm 71.
Wow.
I I tend to do.
You're as old as Lindsey Graham.
I know. And I think I didn't follow his health protocol either.
I hope so.
I'm really scared about what you just told us about the health protocol.
I think all of us need to make sure we have our normal checks and we try to take care of things.
And listen to your wife when she asks you to go to the doctor.
I do.
I'm kind of listening.
Okay. Listening but ignoring. Is that it?
I told you I got Dr. Joe.
Okay, good.
I'm supposed to go back and see the results.
Go see Dr. Tell him I said hello.
Yeah. Okay.
Marriage crisis in America. This marriage crisis is talking more about kids not getting married. I think we've created it. The government has created it.
I don't have kids, but now I have a new family. And some of them are like 25, 28, great young ladies, but they're not married.
Right. That's the marriage crisis.
Yeah.
And the article says that a lot of people have blamed it on, bank accounts. You're waiting until you have enough money. That's what people say with children. Well, I'm gonna have kids as soon as I have enough. Well, then you'd never have them because there's never enough.
And you went through that probably as a young guy.
No, we just had them. We don't worry about it. But it says that it's the whole bit about not being able to afford it is just a lie. In fact, median income for young men is at a 50-year high. It says. Let's talk to Sandy again because she's married. Good morning, Sandy.
Good morning again. I had chores to do, so I missed who's putting out the America 250 book.
Prager.
Dennis Prager.
And I like it. And there's a museum that goes with it.
6 museums.
6 museums.
On the road.
And it's a collectible edition book, which I found fascinating. I just thumbed through it, but I want to get a copy of it. But I'm sure we can go on Prager's website and get it.
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering if it would be like available at our bookstore in town, or is it just you have to just get it from him, or do you have any idea?
I have no idea. I would I could check Amazon. If it's anywhere, it's going to be on Amazon.
Hey, Sandy, I think if you just go prageruniversity.com, I don't know. They sent me my wife. My wife got this. prageruniversity.com, I think.
Okay. I'm writing it down. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think you'd enjoy it.
Yeah.
President Trump has recommended during the interim for Lindsay's sister, Darlene, to serve to McMaster. No, he's not recommending her for I guess at the election time, but that just came out, or I just saw it just now. Okay. So anyway, I'll let you guys go, and thank you for this. I'll see if I can get a copy.
Thank you, ma'am. Take
care.
Me,
Russ, you'll have to get your own.
Oh, now I know.
Have a good day. Bye.
All right, bye. Well, she's being tough on me today.
Well, she's got to be tough.
She should. I deserve it. There's no question. So the marriage thing, and I think this is a travesty. I think it's bad for our country. It's part of that value system that has been, beat up and trying to break up. But I think our government does it. It started, with really welfare and stuff like that, where we'll pay you money if you don't get married. Like you have kids and not married, you're going to get an advantage. But then there's a marriage problem. When you get married and you have 2 incomes, you pay more in taxes. You don't pay less, you pay more. There's a marriage penalty. So I think our government has done all they can to drive us apart. And then society has been doing it. But this says the money thing is just not true because men make more money today than they've ever made, or we're really doing very well. Says today's married 30-year-olds own homes at roughly the same rate as their counterparts in 1970. I didn't know that. Because I always, you hear this, that a lot of people are worried they can't buy homes, they can't afford homes. And we went through that in the 70s. You remember the inflation under Jimmy Carter? Homes got out of price.
19%.
Yeah, it's a misery index, the inflation and crazy stuff. It balanced out.
And you were buying your homes in the 70s?
No. But I was discouraged. I graduated from high school in 70. I got married in 78. We bought a home 80, 81, maybe, but I a smaller one, and we got started. Yeah. But this is talking about richer or poorer and getting married, and the bit about people wait until your credit score hits 800 before you get married. It's just not true. There's other things that work. And I think there is. I think there is. Right now, people want to get married and have a wedding that looks like a royal funded wedding by an oil cartel. We didn't have that, and most people didn't.
No, you came to my wedding 2 years ago.
Yes, I did.
It was really fun. It was cheap.
Yeah.
I didn't have to spend a lot of money.
No, and there was admission.
Yeah, I did charge you $20 to get in. I remember that now.
Well, my wedding was on air.
Yeah,
with just a few people that would fit in a room smaller than this one.
And I missed that wedding. I'm sorry.
I don't mind. Nobody was invited except on air. You could look at it on Facebook.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Mad Mike. Let's talk to Mad Mike. Good morning, sir. Mad Mike. What's up?
All right. So this one is not a butt dial. This was an intentional call.
Yeah.
I have a question for Mark, or an invitation to expound more. He brought up a few minutes ago two of the three big questions that the LDS Church, the Mormons, try to answer. Where did we come from? Where are we going? And in my opinion, the most important one, why are we here? So just to give Mark a little background, I know Russ has heard this before. I was born and raised in the Mormon Church. It's one of those missionaries you see riding their bikes around for 2 years in Orange County, California. And I'm very much knowledgeable, not, professor expert level, but I'm very much knowledgeable about religion in general, and Christian religion specifically, and even more specifically, the LDS Mormon beliefs. So I would say, that as much as you've mentioned Jesus so far this morning, I would assume you are a devout Christian. Is that a fair assumption?
Mike, yes, I got this thing going on in relation with Jesus for 40 years. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. So that means that you would not accept any other version of God, whether it be Allah, whether it be what the Buddhists believe in, whether it be what the indigenous people in South America believe in. You believe only Jesus is the only true God, the only way to gain salvation. Is that also correct?
Yeah, I believe what the Torah combination with the other writings from the Bible says. Yeah, that there is only one God. Yes.
So you only accept two of the great religious books. And that's fine. Everybody has their preference. I'm just curious if you could expound a little bit on why we are here.
Well, as a dropout of a Bible college in Southern California, I can tell you that I've learned a few things in 40 years. I think we're here. Charlie Kirk said it best in his new book before he died, Stop in the Name of God. I would recommend that we're here because we're created by a creator that loves us, and we're here to enjoy his creation, but also to honor him in our gifts, and to basically show the golden rule to people and speak the truth in love.
Okay, can I interject something real quick, and then I'll let you continue?
Sure.
You said, I believe you said to honor him. So you believe in only one male entity, not male and female. Adam and Eve were created in the image of God, male and female, as it says in the Torah. You only believe in one personage, one male deity?
Yeah, in the beginning, God. The word God is translated Elohim in Hebrew, and that's a male term. Yes.
Okay, but also in the Hebrew Bible, Torah, as translated by King James, is the version I'm most familiar with, is God created man in his own image, male and female.
Right.
It says.
Yes, you're right. That's right. My wife, my wife Veronica wrote a second book about that beginning of Adam and Eve in Genesis. She's better at this than I am, but I agree with you, Mike.
Okay, well, I'll just add that I believe, me personally, not any particular religion or book, and I do believe the Book of Mormon is the Word of God, also,
Right.
as well as other books could have been inspired and bring great light and understanding to us mortals. But and now I lost my train of thought. But I was saying why we're here again, and this is more from my Mormon Christian background, is to get a body. We lived in the premortal life in spirit form and didn't have physical bodies. And this earth was created for the express purpose of us being born and gaining a physical body, which after we die and are separated from it, the hope is to be resurrected and be going on in the future with a physical resurrected body. And this life is a school. We're here to learn both intellectual and physical things. We're here to learn how to control our bodies, our passions, even our thoughts and desires. And I think it's a great school.
I understand that, Mike. Thank you. I'm trying to learn that with my wife, trying to have self-discipline in all those areas. But
He's still trying.
I'm still trying.
Yes, as we are. So I appreciate you, of course, or not what, conversing with me, and I have learned a lot. Well, I've got 3 books now. I got to add to my list of reading. Yours that you said you were going to send me. Now
Yes.
the Prager University.
Yep.
One sounds good. And if you'd send me some information about your wife's book, I'd be interested in reading that as well.
Oh, okay, great, Mike. We'll get your phone. I'll text you. Okay.
Very good. Thank you.
Take
Have
care
a great
now.
day, guys.
Bye-bye.
You too now.
That was Mad Mike. I want to wrap up on this marriage crisis.
Yes.
On people not getting married, but it says, I like this little paragraph here. It says it's about women that want to make sure that they get a partner that is in a higher tax bracket, and make you laugh and respond to text immediately. They have a criteria that they go through, and
Okay.
some of them anyway.
Okay.
Obviously, thank God Helen didn't have that criteria.
Thank God Veronica didn't have that.
Yeah. We'll go along.
Yeah.
And it says, all that sounds empowering, but it's actually a recipe for dying alone with 12 cats. A dependable plumber making a healthy living is discarded because he doesn't match the lifestyle of a fake TikTok entrepreneur posing next to a Lamborghini. He almost certainly doesn't own it. Reality cannot compete with a manufactured version of it. I think that's true. We're living in a fantasy on some of this social media, and we're not getting truth all the time. Let's talk to the other Mike.
Another Mike.
Hey, good morning, Mike.
Good morning, guys. That question, why are we here?
Yeah.
Really not that hard to understand. As far as mankind has made it complicated. Not that hard to understand. Let's go back to the Garden of Eden. But first of all, let's say we the gentleman that you're with, we as in our belief system, I'm a Taurus myself. God is long suffering. He is very long suffering until he's not. And really that is the crux of fear of God. Fear of God isn't the fact that we fear him spanking us. Fear of God is fear that he stops being long suffering with us. Separation from God. But when you go back to the Garden of Eden, why wasn't God long suffering with Adam and Eve? He was in a hurry to get them out of there. He was in a hurry to get them out of there because they were corrupted. And he couldn't afford to have them eat from the other tree, which would give them longevity in a corrupted state. So once that incident happened, mankind had to die. was on a long march to die. And everything from there, from God, was to give us a system to live this life until God's plan was to return us back to the Garden of Eden. And that is simplistically why we are here today. He made us in his image for us to enjoy him and for him to enjoy us. But that was over in the Garden of Eden. And then he had to get us out of there. Now, when you talk about the book of Revelation and the whole idea of corruption, God gives us a system to not be corrupted. It's very simple. Very simple bunch of rules that mankind is complicated. So we are not corrupted, so that we don't go back to the Garden of Eden and take the mark of the beast that gives us longevity in a form that God doesn't recognize. So that is why we are here today. We are here today in the after fact of the disobedience, and to return back to the time when we can face God, because we can't even look at God. Nobody can look at God and live. But that relationship was wrecked by the fallenness of man through that entity which we call Satan. And Satan is also on a march toward Revelations to get us to do that one more time.
And may I ask, Mike? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. So
go ahead.
The fall from the garden, yes, you're right. We were accepted originally. We were significant. We were secure. And then the fall, because of sin, broke that significance, security, and acceptance. Christ came in all humanity, all God, to restore our significance, our acceptance through forgiveness. In his resurrection, took death. So yes, you're absolutely right. And now, because of Jesus, we accept him. We can be significant. We'll find significance, acceptance, and forgiveness in Christ. In Christ. So I appreciate all of what you just said. And another thing is, I thank you for calling me a gentleman. My friend used to say all the time, "Who walked into the room when people called us a gentleman?" But I thank you for saying that, Mike, that I'm a gentleman.
Well, see, you said something significant, and Angry Mike said something significant. You said that you didn't commit to being a Christian. You said you were with Torah, and that's significant. And then Angry Mike said, "Well, you're with two books, Torah and the King James," but he doesn't understand it's the same thing. Torah is in the King James. Torah came first before King James.
Yeah.
But the tragedy that we have today is these people who call themselves Christians, that really they're post-Constantine Christian.
Hey, Mike, I appreciate all you're saying. It's a lot of studying, and I appreciate your insight. Russ, what are you thinking here?
I think I'm just listening.
Okay.
but yeah, the King James is a Bible, but it's got the Torah in it. But you're talking about the King James version of the Bible, actually.
Well, it is a version.
Yes,
it's not translated. There is only one King James, and that is our only link back. That's the umbilical back to God. You can't condemn the King James. Absolutely not.
I don't know anybody that does, really.
Well, you've got all these different other versions.
Oh, we've got hundreds now, hundreds.
And so people need to understand what a version is in a translation. It's not the King James translation, it's the King James version, which means it's a copy of something else. And then that copy of copy of copy of copy, that's where the confusion comes.
Well,
the Bible isn't.
I think most people that translate a Bible go back to original Hebrew or Aramaic, to translate. They don't translate from the King James, to my knowledge. I've never heard of that.
Well, I'll answer that by asking this question.
Mm-hmm.
You have the King James divided into Old Testament and New Testament.
Yeah, it's most every Bible.
Old Testament is Hebrew.
Correct.
The New Testament is Hebrew or Greek.
What, there wasn't some Aramaic in there too, or no?
Yeah,
Aramaic is mankind's. Aramaic is post-Constantine smoke and mirrors to take us away from Hebrew. Constantine wringed out all the Hebrew of the New Testament and made it Greek. So I'll ask you again, was the New Testament originally written in Greek, or was it originally written in Hebrew?
Hebrew, I would think.
Well, thank you, because a lot of people think it was originally written in Greek. A lot of seminaries preach that. The object I'm saying is this: we forget one thing. And I've talked to a lot of Jewish people who talk about Mount Sinai, but one thing God gave us at Mount Sinai, and I use the word us because it was a mixed multitude that gathered at Mount Sinai, not just the Israelites. God gave a commission to be his priest and king. Yeshua, Jesus, gave us a commission to be his priest and kings. And unfortunately, Sunday worship does not promote that. It's just 45 minutes, we worship, we thank him, we ask him, but we are his representatives. And the problem with America is we haven't been a good representative.
I'm sorry, Mike. That you're right, and we're talking about marriage at the very end here. Where you're right. As a man, I'm trying to be more of as my marriage as a spiritual leader, a priest, and then a provider, a king, and a protector. And you're absolutely right.
We joke about it. We joke about it in the media, but marriage is a sacred thing.
Sure.
Now, marriage is a pact between what we're supposed to do. Two people of 6-day creation coming together to be one, and that is ordained by God himself. The problem is we have, because of our laws, because of all of this, all these things to motivate people, we have destroyed the institution of marriage. What does Marxism do? It destroys all the institutions of man, and one of those was the institution of marriage. One of those was to take man out of the household, which is, these things add on. Let me just say this. We're supposed to be his priests and kings, but yet the post-Constantine American Christians allowed the holy symbol of the rainbow flag, of the rainbow, to be hijacked by a group of people without a fight. The post-Constantine American Christians allowed prayer to be taken out of school without a fight.
Yep.
The post-Constantine American Christians allowed the Ten Commandments to be taken out of our institutions without a fight.
Well, I think Christians aren't perfect, but I think we learn from our mistakes.
That's a statement that's baloney.
It's not. It is.
Why would you have to see that the problem on our side is, I like Trump, but he's not perfect. We're the only people who add that caveat. Nobody else does, because you are apologizing for
human nature, apologizing for human nature,
apologizing
the sinfulness of man.
Why do we have to add the caveat? We're not we are perfect. As a matter of fact, Russ.
Okay, go ahead. You can
God made us I'm not going to raise my voice.
That's okay.
God made us perfect.
Yeah.
He said, walk before me and be perfect. The fact that you don't think that you take this perfect for granted is what I'm talking about.
I don't know the passage you speak of, but I know we're all born in sin, and there are mistakes, and there are
and then they use that against us, just like they used separation of church and state against
I'm
us.
not using it as an excuse at all,
No,
but because we're still
I
going to
think
fight
you
the
are.
fight, and we're still going forward and trying to bring it all
You-
together. And I don't come in here to make excuses. I come in here hopefully to point out some of our mistakes and some of the things
But
we can
here's
do
the thing.
better.
Here's the thing. Share law is coming to this country, and we're letting it happen without a fight.
And you're too easy to give up on it. I'm not. I don't think so.
I'm not. When I try to fight it, you call me angry.
Well, if you're angry,
You
maybe.
censor- when people like me fight it, you censor us. You call us toxic.
I don't
You
remember.
call us toxic.
I don't remember calling you. I don't remember calling you toxic, and maybe you deserved it. I don't know. But I think we can talk about it rationally. I don't get upset. And I think maybe you get upset if people don't agree with you 100%. I don't agree with you 100%. But that's okay. I think.
Well,
one thing I know now, it's 9:00. I got to go, but we can
somewhere in there. I hope people step back and think that we are part of the Great Commission and start acting like it. That's all. That's my 2 cents.
I agree with you. Thank you, sir. You take care, man. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mark.
Bye. And with that, we're out of here.
Thank you,
Mark.
Russ.
Thanks so much for coming. You lasted the whole 3 hours. You didn't once walk out
And
screaming.
now I have to run to the bathroom.
You better go. We'll be right back. I'll be back tomorrow.